Happy Monday afternoon, everybody, and happy MLK Day for sure. We are here live on Game Time here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by these two gentlemen you see to my right or to my left on the screen, depending if you're standing or you're upside down. In the middle there, Jay Washington. How are you, bro?
Very confused. I realize I don't have my headphones.
Okay.
Hey, look. I don't sleep, so I don't have my coordination together. So I don't appreciate the way Winston A. Marshall just looked at me. He was like, "What? Like I'm off kilter, sir. I'm off kilter."
What did I do?
The way you were looking at me, like
that wasn't about you. That was about the fucking song. I'm over here every week. That shit fucking slaps. Do 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 do. That's
I need you not to do that because that started him dancing.
Let Roca cook. Don't do this.
Yeah,
don't do it. Don't you tell him that because now he's gonna be like, "Yo, let me cook.
Let me cook.
Let him cook, bro."
That's Jay Washington. That's Winston A. Marshall. Gentlemen, what? Go get the headphones, man. What?
And the A stands for, man, this shit slaps.
I hate abbreviation.
What an incredible weekend of football we had. We're going to get into all of that. Well, yes, your opinions abound about the weekend of football. We had four really good games. We're going to get to all of those games, break them down, and then preview a little bit the AFC and NFC championships at this point. Of course, a lot can change by the time we get to Friday, but that's what we're going to do. And also talk a little NBA as well with some James Harden news and some Luka Doncic news as well, and even some Deshaun Watson news with the Texans and all of that. So we're going to get into all that here today. And please remember, StreamLabs and SuperChats are open now more than ever. Please send in your StreamLabs. You see the address above Jay's head. That's the StreamLabs address. You want us to read any of your questions, any of your comments, that's how we do it. Please help me pay these gentlemen a decent living wage, for God's sakes, and keep your SuperChats coming in as well. So let's get into it. First of all, let's get your overall reactions of this weekend. 4 good games, 2 that threatened to be a blowout, but then got closer and were worth watching. Were you guys surprised at the quality of football and the level of football that we got this weekend?
I just want to start out by apologizing to all the Cleveland Brown fans who I supposedly jinxed. Because, because at the midst of the game, it looked like the Browns were about to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah,
especially just shut the fuck up. Like that's
I have a dog in the fight, so I don't have a dog in the fight, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
but the thing was, after that Chad Henne interception again, you already looking at a team, and Chad Henne hasn't played a game in so long. He happened to start a recent game that one was week 17, and so when you saw that interception, you were like, "Well, that's all they needed to motivate them to win this." And a couple minutes later, it was like that SpongeBob meme. 2 minutes later, and it was like, oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe we should start there in that first game, 22-17. The Chiefs held off the Cleveland Browns here. Very game Cleveland Browns, Winston. They certainly came to play in that second half. They were kind of handled a little bit in that first half. And of course, there's that controversial call we'll get to a little bit later, that touchback call. There was a fumble right at the end zone. Rashad Higgins almost going in before that ball came out. Could have probably turned the game around or changed the complexion of the game, but it looked like Kansas City had this thing well in hand. And then there was the injury to Patrick Mahomes. At the time Mahomes went out, he was 21 of 30 for 255 yards and a touchdown, and had run for a touchdown as well. But let's take a look at it. I brought up the video here. Let's take a look at this injury, and Winston, get your thoughts on it as we take a look at it here. Here is the hit here, and then he slams his head. So where is the concussion? Where is the hitting of the head? Is it just there onto the football, do you think?
I wish you could rewind, but that's okay. I mean,
it's the slamming of the head.
It's the slamming of the head. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I think what was scary about it,
right?
You got a little bit of that. It's both. It's both, and I think the other thing people were worried about, because his hand was acting weird, and part of that was he couldn't get up.
Right.
He slammed his head on his hand on the ground, and there's a light contact with the other player's helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just put all that together. Like, have you ever been like headbanging long enough and you kind of feel your brain bouncing around?
Yeah.
I think it's just the same thing at that speed. I'm sure he's taken enough hits that his head is already not to the point of a concussion, but it's like, feeling a little bit. You've been jostling around. It's everything that we've said, man. This is a dangerous, violent sport, and I think that this just proved it yet again. And so it's one of those things that's
been jostling around.
Just jostling around, bro. Like, you never heard that turn of phrase before?
I have, but I never heard it come out of your mouth.
I just laugh because Jay on like once a week goes, man, I'm blacker than this nigga. This nigga's making up shit, saying all the white things, and I'm like, nigga. First of all, I didn't understand that speaking fancy fucking words was a white thing. I thought that was an educated thing.
Well, first of all, jostling around. Jostling is a 1940s white household slave.
That's fine, but that's also what my nigga used to say when he was hooking up with this girl named Jocelyn. Like, nigga, what you doing tonight? Oh, nothing, nigga, just jostling around. I was like, yo, that's kind of fire, though. But either way, it's the whole thing, man. It's the other thing that was kind of crazy is to see him get up, and what was scary is at first it was like, is his leg broken? Is his arm broken? Because he's kind of holding his arm at his side, but then all of a sudden, like, they have to help carry him because he's like falling over on himself. Yes. Like, the whole thing was just fucking terrifying because you were like, oh my God, like homie is out.
Look at Patrick Mahomes' eyes said everything.
He had no idea where he was. He had zero.
Because he was like them eyes was like,
yeah.
Am I Batman? I think I'm Batman. He was like that commercial. He was legit. He legit looked like the guy from that Snickers commercial. But again, I agree with everything Winston just said. It was not the hit. So for people like it was the helmet was like.
Right, of course, Ultron. Yes, I agree. Yes, that is correct.
Fix your internet, fool. It was the hit, but like when he got up, it looked like, Jay Washington after one of his wrestling matches, just kind of stumbling out of the ring. It was a little tough to watch. Is his internet down? Damn it, he's not going to get the joke.
No.
There he is. All right.
Hey, Jay, if you haven't, close all those other programs, man.
Yeah, man, stop downloading shit while you're on the show.
I got all the tabs open for all the different shit we're talking about.
Oh yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. I would say keep the one open for this game and then just have the run sheet ready.
Bam.
Because that's what I do. My computer will do the same shit. You can't do that.
That's it. And there he is, kind of stumbling as he's getting up. And you heard both Tony Romo and Jim Nantz go, oh no. And Tony, of course, being a former NFL quarterback who has had his own issues, Winston, as a Dallas Cowboys fan with concussions, he knew immediately what was happening here. Andy Reid is saying that he thought that, he said this after the game, that Mahomes could have come back into the game if he had wanted to. And in the past, maybe he would have, but because of the concussion protocol, he wasn't allowed to. They're saying now it's a pinched nerve in his neck, and that he passed all the tests afterwards, and he should be fine to go, even though he didn't officially say he will be there for the AFC Championship game. This kind of cloudies other things that were happening in this game that I thought were fantastic. The Browns really came alive in that second half. Behind Nick Chubb, behind Baker Mayfield, they really got close. And you're right, Jay, if it hadn't been, if they had run a little bit of a better offense, or if it hadn't been for the Chiefs defense kind of stepping up on that critical play after Henne thought he was Patrick Mahomes and threw that interception in the end zone, we might be talking about the Browns going to the AFC Championship for sure.
Well, you also have that moment where you're Chad Henne. You're brought in this last moment to save the game.
Yeah,
like you've never in your entire career, you've never been under this much pressure. Mm-hmm. So the level of pressure you're facing just being on that court, on that field, and then you got to do it, because if not, if you cost this game for your team, you are going to be tormented, and you don't want that. So, you like, I'm Chad Henne. I still got an arm. Let me show people my arm. And when he threw it, you're like, it's one Chief down there and just 3 Browns. So you're like, I understand the confidence in the receiver, but you haven't shown this connection during games like that to go for that pass down that deep.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it was right after the Heat throwing a great pass to Travis Kelce on an out. Travis Kelce was like, doing his flexing. He was ready to go. He was excited. And then Henne was feeling himself and threw way over through the receiver for the interception. But to give Henne some credit as well, after the Browns punted, Henne was responsible for that 13-yard scramble that got them that first down and throwing the ball to Tyreek Hill on that 4th and 1. Look, Andy Reid called the play, but Henne had to carry it out, and he did it. So you have to give credit for Henne stepping up at the end there to secure the victory and not give the Browns another chance to maybe drive down that field and win the game. Don't you think? He's 35 years old, Winston. I mean, he kind of stayed. Maybe he was feeling something. Maybe he's a little kind of getting his sea legs a little bit out in the playoff game and then settled down and play a little bit better on that last drive.
I mean, it's definitely his sea legs. I think the other thing about it, though, was that if you remember, the biggest thing that kind of happens with a lot of this is that you are modeling offenses after the pieces that you have. Yeah. Chad is a backup. I get it, but that offense flows more for Patrick with Patrick's ability to scramble, which is why when Chad put the team on his back, though, and it's fucking 3rd and 15.
Yeah.
And my nigga or 3rd and 14, my nigga says, and he did the Adam Sandler in the longest yard, like the old white man trying to like do the run to like try and make it happen. He's out here, he would spin move, and then he dove and was within half a yard of doing it. They thought he had already gotten it, and now it's 4th and half a yard. And you're sitting here going, my God, they're like, all right, cool, draw them off sides. But I think what everybody noticed right away is you go, holy shit, they're in fucking shotgun.
Yeah.
Why would you try and draw somebody off sides from shotgun? I'm surprised, and I think this speaks to maybe the Browns just not being ready for the smoke, that like they didn't automatically really set up it. Like they were set up as a defense, but not for a potential pass there because because why would you ever draw someone off sides from shotgun?
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened though. It has happened. That's the thing. It'd be a different story if it doesn't happen. And even in short yardage situations, it has happened. You get those defensive ends, or you get those corners that come up trying to blitz and they ready for this blitz, and you have that happen. And so because again, stranger things have happened. But if you're in shotgun, you're like, all right, so there's no way the snap's coming back this way and he's gonna run, right? Right? Like he's gonna pass. So we're gonna wait, what are they? How is just whatever defense we just call 50-50, 3-4 50-50 on the field. That's what we call it. Let's roll with it like that. Because it's hard to in that moment because you don't know.
Yeah, you don't. And the thing is, everyone said, and Tony Romo's like, they're not calling a play. They better not jump. They're not going to call a play. And then they hiked it. And the whole time, Romo stopped being an analyst and became a fan. And he was like, oh, they got it. Oh, my God. He was going crazy about it.
That's why my favorite part was people making the comparisons between going from Phil Nance and Tony Romo to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. That and like they're very they can be really boring.
Yeah.
Phil Nance and Tony?
Or no,
Troy.
I'm saying Tony out here reading the future. He's like, let's see. Shit, they're in shotgun. They're gonna go for it.
Troy Aikman looks like, I'm just doing this because my wife told me I had to. I do not want to be doing it. He never looks like he wants to be there. Like Joe Buck is just like, my dad was a broadcaster.
Well, Joe Buck is the worst. Joe Buck is that like someone was tweeting about his calling of the Super Bowl when David Tyree caught the ball in his helmet, like Eli scrambled and got out of that tackle, and then Tyree caught it with his fucking helmet.
Yeah,
it was literally like Eli's still alive and a catch by David Tyree, and everybody was like, "Bitch, are you fucking kidding me? That's probably the greatest pass and catch we have ever seen in football history." Like that shit was literally insane, and I don't know where you were when that shit happened. And there's been some wild fucking shit like the when we had the replacement refs, and we it was
the Monday night game,
the interception versus the touchdown. And everybody's like, "Bitch, what?" Like versus this where they're like, and good catch by David Tyree. Yes. So it's like people were the same thing about this. It's just like, it's funny. You notice Joe Buck tries to fix that now. I think has never lived that criticism down.
I mean, he's had a little bit of great success on the field. You'd be like, if you don't turn that shit.
Oh no! Skynet is uploading. Oh no!
I don't know what he's doing. F. James 70 says, just want to give love to the Outlaw Nation. Thank you, F. James. Much love to you right back, my man. And then Roberto Arsenal had a super chat here while Jay is frozen. Let's get to that one here. Here he goes. There he is. It seems Brady won the war against Belichick. Pats couldn't even make the playoffs. Tom is happy about that. Regina King's one night in Miami was good. Yeah, I'll be watching that tomorrow. I've set aside time on Tuesday morning to watch that movie, and then, of course, watch the Tiger Woods documentary that looks fantastic as well. I can't wait to watch that. So, yeah, no, you're good. Definitely, Brady did win against Belichick. For now, we'll see what happens in the long run.
This is not a fair. That's not a fair comparison.
Okay.
Why?
Here's again. Yeah. Half of the damn Patriots starters sat out the year.
Nah, miss me with that because you still played the game and it's still Belichick. He would have made that. He would have made that happen one way or the other.
Cam had COVID.
Well, that to me, that's the bigger thing. The bigger thing that I'm thinking is that you just picked the wrong quarterback. I don't think.
Now he's the wrong quarterback. But at first we were like, "Yo,
now, because I like him, and I was like, if he could make this comeback, if you remember, go look at the tape. I was like. Before he played, I was like, does Cam still have the sauce? Because remember, he had all those fucking surgeries.
Yeah.
That was you can go back and listen. So my bigger thing was, it was going to be a matter. Early on, you were the one that said, well, clearly Belichick won because Brady is trash. And I was like,
I didn't say that way. I didn't.
You were not.
You didn't know that's your white Brady at first. Yeah,
that was your white voice. You're like, Brady is gone. This is it for him. He's very much done. This is Belichick's. Belichick won this war.
First of all, for you to say I sound like that, my credit score needs to be higher. Anyway.
Oh, there you go. Oh, my Lord. My Lord.
Hello. Real quick. Hello. I did think Tom Brady because he hadn't settled into the team.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
But we saw – and I even walked back my words. I said, "Yo, we see him playing with the team now. He's settled into his role, and the team is settled into him." Because think about it: if you're the Bucs, at first you just geek the shit you playing with Tom Brady.
And here's my big thing specifically with the Patriots. I get it about those starters sitting out, but it's one of those things that they early on with their starters sitting out were fucking going off.
Yeah.
So it's not, it has, to me, I don't consider that as an excuse if they were balling versus the difference was you look at the Cowboys were doing pretty good. Then Dak got hurt and they never recovered. Yeah. That's the big difference.
I mean, by that same standing, the Bears were 5-1 until they took, let's be real. Listen to this. As much as we knew it was a suspect 5-1, just as much as Pittsburgh was a suspect 11-0. The Bears were 5-1 until they pulled Trubisky out. As much as I hate having Trubisky, and I will stand by it, they were 5-1 until they pulled Trubisky and went on this downward slide. Took Foles back out, brought Trubisky back in. These motherfuckers go to the playoffs. Whether they fall backwards or not, they still go.
They did. The thing you want to look at here is, the receiving Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, both over 100 yards receiving, both getting 8 catches. Kelce getting the touchdown on that one. But Nick Chubb only had 69 yards, even though it felt like he had more in that second half. He was busting through that defense, that secondary of the Chiefs when he was getting through that first defensive line area. He was getting there. He was getting the yards. He was an engine. And the Browns had a shot here. Do you think they should have punted with 4 minutes and 30 seconds? Or do you think down by 5 in the playoffs in Kansas City with Chad Henne on the other side, do you think they should have maybe gone for it and taken a chance to extend the game and maybe drive all the way down and get a touchdown, maybe grab some of the momentum? Or do you agree with the fact that they punted it away, they never got the ball back, and the game was over? Do either of you thought they should have gone for it?
I'll go first. First, I just want to point out Jordan Freeman, who said, y'all know the PA announcer at basketball games that announces the subs? That's what Joe Buck sounds like. Yeah. He'd be like, coming in now for LeBron James, number 43, Mr. Jay Washington.
Yo, you disrespectful as fuck. Like, I mean,
I just subbed you in. I just subbed you in for LeBron James.
Exactly.
You stupid son of a bitch.
No, exactly.
That was a fucking compliment.
No, it's not. Because I'm the nigga on the court. They be like, you brought this nigga in from LeBron.
No. What that is, clearly what that is how you feel about yourself. I was trying to give you
Oh, I know how I feel about me, but I know what the real responses is.
I literally put you up there where I said you're good enough to be on the bench for the Lakers, and you out here fucking destroying me.
I get that, but I also understand it.
I'll never give you a compliment again. I'm done giving you compliments,
Bro, we all know Twitter can kill your soul. So we all know I get back in the locker room, the game over. I look at my tweets, all of my mentions. Y'all put this thick ass nigga in for LeBron.
Y'all put in cream thickums. You put in
cream thickums for LeBron. What's wrong with y'all?
That's fucking funny.
They're not going small ball; they're going snail ball like that. We got some super chats that have come through our Streamlabs. Rather, Brian Lawson.
I'll wait for you. I'll answer your question when you're done.
Yeah, Brian Luss says, is Lacey Evans about to be Charlotte's new stepmama? You nasties, keep up the good work. I don't know what that means, but we'll talk about that.
So real quick, I'll just address it. So a week and a half, 2 weeks prior, they did live on WWE TV, showed Lacey Evans with her husband and daughter.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon was like, so we want to do more romance angles. So Lacey, you're going to be in love with Ric Flair. And they were like, Lacey's like, but you just showed me with my family. You're in love with Ric Flair, and Flair is fucking you. Like, Jesus. that is literally the angle they are doing.
That's so stupid. All right, gentleman _ scientist says, hi, fellas. I was sad to see Lamar and Patrick concussed by typical tackles. Research suggests strength training the neck muscles could mitigate the impact of head trauma. Do you think players are being taught ways to prevent being concussed when tackled? Yes, gentlemen, they are. I think absolutely they are, because so many more people are going out with concussions and these concussion protocols. It's just that these athletes are so big now and so strong and so quick that the angles they're being tackled at are causing these concussions. And remember, remember, like, the way Patrick Mahomes went down was an unusual way for him to go down, with the defender wrapped essentially around his neck. And the way Lamar Jackson went down, he was throwing the ball away in a moment of vulnerability because of a bad snap. So they weren't in positions that they would normally be in to be able to handle the kind of tackles that got them into the concussion situation. Jay, you were saying, go ahead, man.
There's also one more thing, and I apologize for interrupting. It's also the evolution of equipment. Because the more we keep saying that the helmets are safer and equipment is safer, now the players feel, oh, well, if it's more padded in a helmet and more padding, to protect the skull, I can hit you harder.
Right. Well, that's fair point. Go ahead, finish
to answer your question, should they have gone for it? I think the answer to that is yes. I think you do go for it.
I quit.
But what?
Breaking news. President Trump is expected to pardon Lil Wayne.
Now, come on. This ain't sports. Go. That ain't sports.
It's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I just couldn't help it.
That's another show.
It came across my screen. I'm sorry.
But long story short, I do think that there was a I think this is a situation where they should have gone for it. I think why they didn't is because they're going off the basis, though it was interesting. Because you got to give Myles Garrett credit. Something was clearly wrong with his ribs. They had been talking about something similar that was going on with Aaron Donald with the Rams.
Yep.
And he still put up. He still said, fuck it, and went out and did what he had to do. Even got a sack where they were literally like, man, he's normally in like 80% of all fucking things. He's only in pass rushing situations. Oh, and shit, there goes the sack on Chad Henne. I was like, wow, that's impressive to be doing that with those ribs. But I think you have to go for it, because the one thing the Browns have been talking about for a while is like, this offense was like doing their thing, but they were not getting it done this week. And so the real thing that was handling business was that defense. So I think you got to put some faith. What they did is they put faith in their defense. I think where that's a problem is that you got to go for it right now because you're down. You're also dealing with I get that Mahomes is the reason that works, but you're still looking at Tyreek Hill. You're still looking at Travis Kelce. You're still looking at a unit collectively that can get it done, even if they have to do it short. Because remember, they just got to kill the clock. They don't need to score. They just have to kill the clock.
Right.
If they needed to score, punt all day. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they just needed to run this shit out, I think that you put the wrong thing. You want to make Baker the face of your franchise, right? Put the team on his back, though. Help him get it done. I think that would have been a better. I think that would have been a better move.
I also think it helped that Chad Henne's 35. He's a veteran. He's played in the league a while. He's not a rookie like Huntley coming in for Lamar. It's a different situation. You have a guy who is going to kind of game manage the situation. Yeah, did he overthrow in the interception? Absolutely. But he more than made up for it when he got a chance on another drive. And you do. You're right. I think you take the chance. I think you go for it on fourth down. Why not? It's the playoffs. You can immediately turn momentum around and push that defense all over the field. But you got to give credit to the KC defense, the much maligned KC defense over the last couple of years. They stepped up when they needed to in this game. And don't count out I think we should talk for a second about these Browns. Like Kevin Stefanski deserves a lot of credit. Baker Mayfield deserves a lot of credit. Nick Chubb. They've got a good nucleus of players, and they were essentially one touchdown away from going to the AFC Championship. This is way ahead of schedule for a first-year coach in this franchise. So if you're a Browns fan, you cannot feel bad about this season at all.
The question becomes the OBJ, though, for next year. Is he there or is he gone?
You trade that motherfucker.
Yeah, I personally don't think you need him now.
No.
You don't need him. You've literally proven you do not need him.
No, not even a little bit. I don't think you need him at all. Rashad Higgins was fantastic yesterday. And this is the day when Jarvis Landry only had 20 yards in catching. That's not what you bring Jarvis Landry to Cleveland to do. But that's credit again to the KC defense. But Rashad Higgins, who's still young, he got himself his yards. And but yeah, what do you think there, Winston? Do you think the Browns should feel good about this season?
Yeah, the Browns should feel good about the season. I understand that I was saying it's like Super Bowl or bust, especially the way they were talking. But I think the way that they played, you feel a little bit better. I'm just concerned that the reason why you kind of got to go all in, I know it's a little different for the Saints, and we're going to get to that, is there's no better day to win than today. I think that's kind of the mentality that you have to have with that shit. You don't wait for next year. You don't go because they're saying you're too young. You fucking go all in and you win it right now. And I think especially once Patrick Mahomes went down, and he is one of the premier people in this league that can make your life a living hell. Mm-hmm. If there was ever an opportunity to capitalize on, it was not to let Chad Henne run 13.5 yards on you to put you away. Where is that stoic defense to stop one of the slowest white men to ever play quarterback that just ran it on? I understand it was a broken play at that point, but like
also you got to remember the defense had been hurt. That defense was literally fighting through. This is one thing I will say about the Browns defense. Yeah. Like they were fighting through injuries. Myles Garrett looked like he may have either pulled or tore a muscle in his core. Yeah. And came back. Then he took out one play and came back the next.
They're saying ribs. That was the whole thing.
Ribs.
They kept pulling him in and out. That's the thing. That's what I mentioned earlier. He's normally an 80%, I think they said, of all their defensive plays. He was only in after that injury. He was only in whenever they for sure needed pass rushing because of that injury. So I get it. The injuries do matter here, but I think that this. I'm not saying they can't do it later. But the Steelers are gone. The Ravens are gone. The Patriots are ineffective this year. The last thing that you really had as a super threat was kind of the Chiefs. And not to say the Bills aren't to be respected, not to say whoever comes to the NFC aren't to be respected, but a lot of the bigger hurdles you had to get through are kind of out of the equation. This was the moment to capitalize.
But I just want to small pick. Would you consider the Steelers a real threat? Again, as we were talking about all season, they're 11-0. When they were on that 11-0 run, it was hella suspect.
What I'm saying is they normally are. Think about how the Steelers have always been a thorn.
I get what
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't think the Steelers were ever hella suspect, in my opinion, until the latter half of the season. Because remember, they had beaten the Ravens, they gone toe-to-toe with the Ravens and the Titans.
But John, I'm talking about those wins where they barely eked them out.
Yeah, true. But so did the Chiefs. They barely beat the fucking Falcons 22-17 4 weeks ago. So
but here's the problem. Here's the problem when you say that about Atlanta. Let's just be real with this. Yeah. Atlanta is doing the same shit since that Super Bowl where they look like they're going to win and then lose. Every game they can. It's been numerous games where they cannot close. Yeah. It's been numerous games where they cannot close. So to use the Chiefs incident, it's just another example of Atlanta being Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this last piece of the game, and then we'll move on here. By the way, this is pretty incredible stuff. I think it's the first time an AFC team has hosted an AFC Championship game 3 years in a row. Remember, they did it against the Patriots, and then last year against the Texans or whoever it was. Titans. Sorry, the Titans. They beat the Titans and then went to the Super Bowl. Now this year they will be hosting again, and we'll tell you who they're hosting in just a second. But this touchback fumble. Let's take a look at this thing. We've got here in close up. This is how it happens. Rashad Higgins. He's about to go in there. He's stumbling, and then boom, a helmet-to-helmet hit by the cornerback unleashes that ball out of his hand and dribbles into the end zone. What do you guys think? You can't review the helmet-to-helmet call, but the ball there, is it time to get rid of this touchback rule? Is it time to just say when he
play it again?
Sure. Wherever he fumbles the ball, is that where the ball should be placed? There, the half-yard line or wherever? Because, I mean, he's accomplished the goal of getting the ball into position. He was stretching out to try to get that touchdown. There's the helmet-to-helmet, and the ball comes out. If it's a helmet-to-helmet hit, that's an illegal hit that causes the ball to come out for the touchback. How in God's name do you call the touchback but not the helmet-to-helmet call? You can't do it, obviously, with the rules now. So should they change this where they review the entire play when something like this happens?
A helmet-to-helmet hit like that should have been a situation where, remember that to my knowledge, you can't fumble on a helmet-to-helmet.
Right.
In which case, that should have been whatever the call for that is. Is it ruled at the spot of the foul, meaning it would be first and goal?
Yeah, it would be first and goal.
It should be first and goal on like the 1 yard line. That's what that call should have been. So I think that's where that is.
Here's the problem: if there's no flag, you cannot. If there is no flag, once no flag is thrown out, because you can't.
That's the problem.
In hindsight, throw out a flag.
But that's a problem, though. I think that this is the same issue we had with the Saints, because I do want to get to that game, because I do think that there's something very sad to be said that my homeboys Tommy and Jordan, they're big Saints fans, and they were talking about this all last night and this morning, and I think is true.
Okay.
That is the type of non-call that can potentially, it not only changes a season, obviously, but it can maybe even in some cases, like what happened with the Saints, change a franchise direction.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, they call that no call in the Saints Rams game. Saints win, go on to the Super Bowl. Whether he wins it or not is a different story. But you see Drew potentially retiring from that and not then having a 2-year spiral downfall. Last year plagued by injury. This year also plagued with a little bit of injury, and then going to go out the way that he went. Yeah. I think that not calling, you should be able to challenge it. If you want to challenge it and be like, I think there is an illegal play that happened.
Yeah. But you're not allowed.
How do you do that? Yeah, because the problem with that,
watch the review and then try to throw that red flag, Jay. But go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, because the problem with that is if you try to throw after the fact flags, this is the number, and here's the number one reason. I understand what we're going to say about safety and fouls and whatnot. What that will do is extensively lengthen the game.
Well, because you still only get the one challenge flag. Yeah. So that's what
no. We're not talking about the challenge. We're talking about if there's again, let's say this happens more than once in a game. This exact type of situation, whether it's a touchback or whatever, and it's a helmet to helmet, it's not called. So then there's a booth, there's a review every time, and now you're lengthening the game. That was the shit they didn't want Chip Kelly to do. Remember, that's why they were cutting down with the replacement refs. They were like, the games are being drawn out too long. Yeah. They did want that, and you will have that happen. I get what you all are saying, but it's that.
Yeah, but they review scoring plays, Jay, on every touchdown. But
that's not a scoring play.
Yeah, it almost was because his ball
almost doesn't count though. Almost doesn't count.
But I would make the argument though, if a touchback involving the end zone is almost a scoring play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're talking change of possession, they almost always have to review that as far as like the fumbles and shit like that. The fact that it's coming out the back of the end zone, essentially to call it a touchback, that's kind of a scoring play. That's a situation where you need to review that. But I'm still saying the big thing I think you have to look at is from the standpoint of just change the rule, because Jay, you just said, well, how are they going to know to watch the replay to know that it was an illegal hit? Well, how do they pull that same shit off throughout the game where like somebody in the top booth is like, nigga, you need to throw a challenge flag on that.
Okay, that's fine. But okay, so look at this. In that situation, what you've been showing is the replay of that, right?
All right, of course.
In real time, it's a shoulder.
I don't know. I think what might have happened, and
this is a replay. This is a replay. In a replay, we're seeing this. If you are the side judge at that angle, and real time, you just see shoulder and back. It is incidental. it's not intentional. It's incidental helmet to helmet in that moment. So that's why there's no flag thrown. Now, what you're challenging on the field, you're challenging if it's a touchback, a fumble, whatever the case. That's what you're challenging. Remember, you can't challenge multiple things at one time.
That's what I'm saying. I think the refs need to be allowed, if there's a challenge here in this situation, to review the entire play. And if they see a helmet-to-helmet hit that caused the fumble, then at that point they go, there's a helmet-to-helmet flag, the ball is placed here, half of this is a goal, and we're done with it. That's the thing. The refs need to be allowed to call these kinds of in certain moments like this. I don't mean all across the field, because you're right, Jay, that would lengthen the game out. Lord knows there's holding on almost every play on the line, so you don't have to do that. But I think it's critical scoring positions like this or critical moments like this. I think the refs need to be allowed a little bit of license to review a play. If the coach throws the red flag, there's something here, I didn't like it, will you please take a look at it, blah, blah, blah. It adds a few seconds to the game or a couple of minutes to the game. But in the end, you get it right. And here I think they messed up because it did swing the game. This is between the Chiefs being up 19-3 going in that third quarter, got 19. It could have been 13-10 going into the second half. That could have made a difference here in terms of confidence and the feeling there as they go into the half. So I think those things that can swing a game. There needs to be a little more license by the NFL for the refs to kind of make the correct call here and not have controversy the next morning.
I just think that opens up a can of worms across the league, because now, again, we're supposed to be, I get what you're saying in egregious moments. Yes. In very egregious situations. Yes. But you're looking at a situation where, damn, that's an interception. Well, you're looking at the interception and now you realize it's pass interference. Yeah. So now you have to reverse the whole call.
Yes.
Because you're only challenging the interception.
But that's okay. Look, we landed on the fucking moon. We're dealing with a pandemic. We can reverse a call. We can reverse a call. I'm just saying. People make such a big deal.
Just said we landed on the fucking moon as an example.
People make such a big deal about reversing calls in an NFL game. I'm like, it's just reversing the call. We're all human beings. We can handle it. We're okay. We're not all a bunch of sensitive.
But again, we're also talking. The three of us are talking from a pundit / fandom perspective.
Yeah.
We're talking, and everybody in the comments, we're all talking from fandom perspectives. As a player of the game is when it's different, especially as a coach, because now, again, like I said, we can see like we're in the playoffs right now. So remember, it's win or go home. This isn't the first 3-4 weeks of the season.
It's critical.
It's critical, yes.
In the playoffs, you should be allowed more license. I feel
okay,
like.
that
maybe not the regular season.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
In the playoffs,
that's fair.
where it's win or go home.
Yeah.
Because we're talking 17 weeks of consistently saying, oh, shit, in the midst of us looking at this PI, we saw on the side there was a holding. Like,
right.
In the midst of
totally understand that. F. James 72 says that is a fumble. Be a man, biatch. Okay, Jeff James. Yikes. All right. Yeah, there he goes. It's definitely a fumble.
How you really feel?
I know. No one's arguing it was a fumble.
The only other thing I will say about that, and I get it, he's going for the score. You got to understand, if you go for the score, you are asking to potentially put yourself up to stuff like fumbles. When you extend, if say he doesn't hit you, say he hits your hands, the shit comes flying out your fucking hands.
That's a fumble.
So you are opening yourself up for parity by doing that. But
when a quarterback decides to run, his quarterback protection is gone.
Right. That's fair. I think that's absolutely a fair point you bring up.
Especially if they don't give themselves up. That's the thing. Right. If they give themselves up when quarterbacks are running like that, you're not allowed to hit them. But if they're fucking like diving forward, which is why they kept telling Cam's ass, nigga, stop throwing it in like you a goddamn running back. You're our quarterback. Learn to slide, bitch.
Yeah.
We get it, motherfucker. You're built like Karl Malone playing football. We understand, sir.
Josh Mabry saying NFL show they don't and won't uphold those challenges when they totally botch the pass interference rule that was made to just to quiet the Saints. Yeah, I guess in the long run, yes, absolutely. But they have to do something in situations like this.
I just gotta say though, that Matthias LP just said NFL is getting soft anyways. I mean, all right, miss me with that for this thing. I understand it's a violent game, so we're just like that's something to be expected.
Yeah.
You're telling me that if we actively know better, that we shouldn't do better. Like that logic always miss me with that shit.
Yeah,
like unless we're specifically talking about this is boxing. All right. Yeah. The point is to literally knock out your opponent. Yeah. If that's what you're talking about, cool. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. But if we're talking about a game specifically, like, yeah, there are hard ass hits, but we're trying to make sure that these people aren't permanently fucking injured, that's a completely different fucking story, man.
Exactly. And what Matthias is talking about is back when they played and they drank beer and ate cheeseburgers at halftime. These are prime athletes now who are built to destroy human beings at the top of physical peak perfection. Go look at those linemen back in the 60s and 70s. Those dudes are not in the same shape. They may have the strength, but they're not in the same shape as the linemen you see now. None of those motherfuckers are running 4.4s at 350 fucking pounds. Like, it's a different situation. So the NFL is quite a far way from soft. Matthias, why don't you go be a tackle dummy from all these guys and tell me if they're soft or not, pal?
Wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah. I just picture now somebody. It's 2 minutes. It's 2.5 minutes left in the half. They on the sideline. Whoa! I can't wait to get in the locker room. Wow, you got a shit? No, you got a piss? Nigga, they got cheeseburgers. Like,
what do you think? Where do you think Jimmy Graham went after he caught that touchdown for the Bears?
No, I'll tell you where he went. He went home to pack. He was like, I'm doing this.
I'm out this bitch. All right, let's get some Streamlabs here. We'll move on to the next game quickly here. Let's see. Eric Kirby says, do you guys think that after the season the Browns had that Baker and OBJ? Oh, sorry. Do you think after the season that the Browns had that Baker and OBJ can repair their relationship and move forward next year? I don't think you need to. I mean, they can repair their relationship, but I personally don't think they need to have OBJ back next year. He's a distraction. Jay, what do you think?
They're going to re-sign. Baker is your guy. You don't even have to slap a franchise tag on him just to be sure you keep him for a year. Yeah. Baker is a dude that will. Baker is the guy you've shown your love and your loyalty to him. You've given him pieces to help build a team. Yeah. You can give Baker a bigger contract. He's cool. Now, OBJ, I understand he got hurt, but even before then, you were not living up to what we thought we brought you in for.
True. What do you think, Winston?
I mean, I think what I'm sad to see, I was glad when OBJ left the Giants because I don't want to have OBJ embarrassing the Cowboys twice a year. But if this is how he is at this point with this team, then get him up out of Cleveland. And I really hope that this isn't the end of his career. I mean, he'll still play on a team, but will he be that number one receiver again? Because between injuries and team problems, he's starting to turn into one of those diva receivers. He's turning into the TO, the Chad Ochocinco, and that fucking sucks. I don't like to see that because he seems like a good dude. But to that point, the Antonio Browns, it looks like Antonio Brown has learned to shut the fuck up down in Tampa Bay, knowing that this is kind of it. So maybe you just need to find him a quarterback that believes in him, that he'll learn to just like do what he got to do and not throw a hissy fit and shit. I mean, look at what Buffalo did for Stephon Diggs. Because remember how he was big in Minnesota. So maybe you just need to find him. You got to find him a new team.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, Antonio Brown got told, hey, bro. Tom Brady walked up to him and was like, look, fam, I told them give you a chance. I swear to God, you fuck this up even once, you will never, ever play again. Yeah. And you just kidnapped you, Tom.
You got him scored away, that's for sure. Let's see. We got two more here real quick. Justin Toner says, hey, guys, great weekend of games. Thanks again, John, for having the Zoom watch along for the Saturday games. I loved sharing the Bills' amazing win over the Ravens with y'all. Also, props to fellow patron Tushka Productions for hosting ones on Sunday. Yeah, if you're a member of the Outlaw Nation Patreon, on Saturday we watched all the games together and commented. It was a lot of fun. Shared the screen and watched them. And then on Sunday, it sounds like Tushka hosted them. So that was a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody who joined us for that one. Dwayne Turu says, loving the show. All of you are in excellent form today. I wish Jay's internet was as strong as this commentary, though. That's fair. That's I think we all feel that way. That's for sure.
I would like to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm probably going to get frozen as soon as I say my thing. I'll be like, from the bottom of my heart.
All right, keep sending in your Streamlabs and Super Chats as we get into the next game here. And that is Tom Brady booked his passage into another championship game, conference championship game with a victory over the Saints. After having faltered against the Saints in ugly fashion twice during the regular season, he was able to get the victory here against New Orleans in New Orleans, thanks to a defense that intercepted Drew Brees 3 times when what could possibly be Drew Brees' last game. Tom Brady didn't light up the scoreboard or did with stats or whatever. He did it. Definitely had a good game, got the ball in the right positions, got the touchdowns needed to get, and got this victory 30-20. Do you trust this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, Winston, or do you think this was more a matter of the Saints not being ready to play and Drew Brees throwing those interceptions? He said on 2 of those, he threw them in the wrong place trying to force them.
Here's the thing, and I think this is really sad. This was more about the Saints not being able to get there, specifically that Drew Brees is done.
Yeah.
I think the turning point of the game, which is why you saw him cursing the fuck out because it was close, was when Jared Cook fumbled that ball. That was it. And what ended up happening is Brees tried to go into the same mode that Brady can go into, that Aaron Rodgers can go into, that Russell Willie can go into, where it's like, all right, time to turn on the switch and we gotta solve this problem. The problem is, did you notice, to my knowledge, I don't think Drew threw a single pass past 20 yards. They kept talking about it. And it's because he can't. Because it's not there anymore. Whether it's wild or he doesn't have the arm strength or whatever, he can't do it anymore.
Right.
And so the only bomb play that they threw was when they stole the play from the Bears the previous week. And instead of having some random person having it, you had fucking Jameis Winston, who looks to be the next starting quarterback for the Saints, give that beautiful bomb to Taquan Smith, who is proving that he is going to be that receiver that they were planning on becoming.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that played out. And so that, to me, I guess, was kind of the sad part, was to watch Drew fall apart, because then when Drew decided he had to put the team on his back, though, 2 horrendous interceptions that ended the game.
Yeah, you're right, Winston. This is a great point you bring up. He wanted to go into Brady mode. He wanted to go into Favre mode back when he could still do it, but he can't do it anymore, not like he used to. And we've seen him falter on the precipice of the shot at getting to a Super Bowl again and possibly winning a second one in his career. And he just hasn't been able to do it over the last few years, whether it's a bad call. But remember, that bad call against the Rams, he threw that interception in the overtime that led to the Rams winning the game. Here, too, he throws 3 interceptions, 2 of them a bit questionable. But you're right. I think it's that fumble from Jared Cook that kind of turned things around for the Buccaneers, because it looked like the Saints were going to beat them again. The Saints looked like they were handling this game well into the third quarter, and then these interceptions and the fumble all led to Tampa Bay being in a good position, field position, and being able to get those touchdowns. Jay, what do you take from this game? Do you trust in the Buccaneers? Do you feel like the Buccaneers are a valid NFC Championship team, or was this more about the Saints choking at the end here and not getting the job done?
No, I think I agree with Drew Brees, with what Winston said about Brees, but also we got to remember, Drew Brees came back in 4 weeks from 11 broken ribs.
Great point.
You're not going to tell me that's real. Nobody comes back in 4 weeks 100%.
I agree with you, Jay, but I think that's part of.
I mean, yeah. Also, age plays a factor.
Sure.
Age definitely plays a factor.
Your ability to not heal as quickly
as heal, right? Not heal as quickly. 11 broken ribs.
But as a Saints fan, you've got to know this. Drew hasn't really been like.
I'm not saying he's been Breezes all these years. I'm not going to say that. I know it is down. That's why they've built the pieces around him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as the Bucs go, the Saints were a great test. The problem is you finna go up against a high-powered, non-stop Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Look, you finna, and also you can say all you want because people gonna say, "Well, Tom Brady's used to playing in Foxborough." Hey, bro, you ain't played in Lambeau like that. You've been playing It's a whole difference. You finna play. And Aaron Rodgers, them are built to play in cold ass weather in Lambeau. You got all them. We've been in Tampa Bay. We got all them built for this warm weather Tampa Bay players who, you might play in a cold climate once or twice, but you ain't played in nothing. You ain't played in the whole season. I don't think this whole season you haven't played in anything like what's in Lambeau, and they say it's expected to be like 20 below.
And everyone's saying everyone's got something to prove. Every game, everyone's got something to prove. Certainly, Aaron Rodgers is on a tear right now. We'll get to his game a little bit later on in the show, but certainly he looks like he's ready. That team looks like they're ready. They're all hitting on cylinders. All the young guys are stepping up. You've got Tom Brady here leading a pretty kind of old team in Leonard Fournette, in Gronkowski, Antonio Brown. These are older veteran players, and I wonder if they're going to be able to stand up and be counted this upcoming weekend against this Green Bay Packers team. I don't walk away from this game feeling like Tom Brady is unstoppable. He was 18 of 33 for 199 yards and only 2 touchdowns. His quarterback rating was 75.7. That's not scaring me at all. So you got the victory, but I don't think it was a convincing victory. I guess
all I'll say is, not on top of that, you got Aaron Rodgers proving you motherfuckers ain't finna replace me that fast. Number one.
Yeah.
That's the main reason he's playing like that all season.
He's the MVP favorite at this point. There's nobody else that plays at his level on any position that deserves MVP than Aaron Rodgers because of the consistency. Like, the funny thing is, I feel like no one has been talking about Green Bay because they were just like, and another one. Everybody was on the Saints nuts. Everybody was like, is Brady going to do it? Everybody was like, let's look at the Chiefs. Wow, the Bills are doing something. The Browns are doing something. The NFC East is trash. Well, Aaron Rodgers is like, dime. And like, all of a sudden we're like, oh, fuck. Like, It's that situation where you haven't been paying attention in the fight the whole time for them DBZ fans, and all of a sudden here comes a fucking blast. Your ass was not fucking ready for it.
All I'll say is this: no matter who wins that game, I am rooting for the AFC team because I can't in my heart root for. I've never rooted for Tom Brady, and I for goddamn sure ain't finna root for no Green Bay Packers.
Okay, there's so much going on here. Okay, First, in the sense that there's other things to look at with the Buccaneers while they're not ready for this smoke. The first one would be, look at Ronald Jones. So they were talking about this during the game. Yeah. Ronald busted off a really big play that got called back for holding, but he's been fucked up with the hamstring. Fournette had a decent fucking game, but real talk. Exactly. That's a good fucking game for Fournette. Yeah. But Ronald Jones has been the dude all fucking season. How I know? Because he was one of my starting running backs for the fucking fantasy football shit. And he got taken out by COVID. Then he got taken out by a hamstring. He's their real back that's doing work. It's not to say that Fournette can't. Right. Fournette isn't always that guy. There's a reason why Jaguars let him go. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, and I think this will be interesting to see in the matchup in Green Bay, Lattimore locked down Mike Evans. Mike Evans had one fucking catch this game. So, like, I think it will be interesting to see if anybody on Green Bay can do that to Mike Evans. If they can, I don't think that they have a shot in hell. I think that this is 1,000% Green Bay. But if that was just Lattimore was able to put that kind of coverage and lock him down, and no one in Green Bay can do that, then you would be interested to see a shootout here. This could be a really interesting thing. But I think that Aaron Rodgers is playing at a different level than Tom Brady. I don't think that's comparable.
Also, you got to look at the fact that, the Saints were winning this game, as I said, into this third quarter. It was there for them to take it. And this was without Michael Thomas having one catch. Last year, Michael Thomas was in the top 3, if not the top 2 receivers in the league. Some would even argue number 1 when he was playing. And DeAndre Hopkins there trading the title back and forth and what have you. So you look at the situation, not one catch. Probably injuries played a part. He was targeted 4 times, didn't get any of those catches. So that's a huge weapon to leave out of the arsenal or not be able to employ as effectively as you would like against a Buccaneers defense like this to stretch the field a bit more. Kamara got his numbers, but in the end, he couldn't find anyone to really replace Michael Thomas to the level that you used to see Michael Thomas perform. So now you got to ask yourself, in this situation, do you really want to hand? Let's address this now. Do you really want to hand the keys over to Jameis Winston? Yeah, he threw that 56-yard bomb to a very, very wide open receiver, but he still almost overthrew it, and which is crazy to look at. But do you really want to hand over the keys of this offense to Jameis Winston? Do you think Drew Brees is retiring in this situation now at this point? He did give one last look around.
Did you hand it to Taysom Hill? No,
he can't hand it to Taysom Hill either.
You maybe go all in and try and get Watson, but I don't think you have the capital to do that, honestly. But the problem is the Saints and their cap space, they're built win or die. That's the problem. So you got to bring somebody in right now because you can't afford to keep all these people. It's about to be like, so
yeah, agreed. Jay?
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, you're built to win this at this moment. And now Brees is gone. Look, he can do the whole. I'm gonna take some time to think about it because let's be real. I think everybody close to him is gonna be like, Drew, I need you to look at your stats for the past 3-4 years, fam. Go ahead and sit it out. You are one of the best. You are a guaranteed Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
like you have a ring. You've proven everything. I know you want to go back and get 2 at least. But, you just had 11 broken ribs, dog. 11. Your chest is whistling on the inside of your motherfucking rib cage sounds like a harmonica when you breathe.
You're rude. You're rude. You're the rudest individual. You were so rude. My God.
It should sound like an accordion walking around like no.
Well, I mean, either way, I think Drew Brees has nothing to hang his head about. An incredible career. If you remember when he was leaving, was it San Diego? There was either Miami or New Orleans, and Miami had questions about his shoulder. And when Brees heard that, and New Orleans had no questions, Brees chose New Orleans, and that's been the difference in that franchise. Resuscitated them after the Hurricane Katrina situation, won that Super Bowl against the Colts thanks to Peyton Manning throwing interceptions in critical moments, and really kind of brought that city back out of the depression that was Hurricane Katrina. If he had gone to Miami, he certainly would have turned that franchise around, but this is probably where he was meant to be. And I think he'll be a legend.
Not necessarily. I think that there's something to be said here about the duo that was Drew Brees and Sean Payton.
Yeah,
Sean, and we don't have the luxury of them breaking up to see if it's I've started to decline or like, you know what I'm saying? We got to see Brady and Belichick split and see Brady.
Right.
He needed Belichick, but he didn't need Belichick.
Right.
We don't get the I don't think we're going to get the opportunity to see if Drew could have done this without Sean. I think that this is one of those duos you look down in history. Because again, Michael couldn't do it without Phil. Neither could Kobe. Kobe couldn't do it without Phil.
True.
And I think that's kind of the thing here. I don't know if Drew could have done it without Sean.
Well, either way, I think he deserves a lot of credit, and he should retire as a legend and turning the entire face of that franchise around. Because the Saints were the Aints, man, for decades.
They were. Had Aaron Brooks. I was a fan when they had Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, Aaron Brooks.
Aaron Brooks, that's Aaron Brooks under center. That's people like, because I remember people like, yo, are you just a Drew Brees fan? I said, hey, bro, I was here with Aaron Brooks. Don't tell me nothing.
You can't tell me nothing. Tushka donated. He said, what draft value does OBJ have currently? I would say late first round. I wouldn't even go that far, to be honest.
Second round picks.
Yeah, second round pick.
Second round picks. He's not a first round. He's not worth first round picks anymore.
Yeah, I think that works best. Second round would be the smart choice for him, for sure. All right, so that's what happens there, and we wish Drew Brees the best if he does retire, but if not, I don't know what you got left, man. Your arm looks a little like it just can't do it anymore.
Don't be Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Well, he did get a Super Bowl in his last season.
He already was, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did get it was his very last one. Yeah, he did.
Here's all, but did he get that ring or did Von Miller in that defense?
Yeah, Von Miller.
What I'm saying is, sadly, this is super sad. This was the moment because again, so this is what I wanted to bring up. That no call against Los Angeles. That was the moment. That was the moment to get the ring and to ride off into the sunset.
That team looked good that year. You're right.
They were an unworldly team that year. They looked just as good as 09. That was the moment. And it got that whole moment changed the trajectory of this franchise, sadly. Because think about even what happened this season. I know that the Saints went off, but Michael Thomas was never really the same after that. Like 2 years ago or last year, it was Kamara. Everybody was like, is Kamara done? Because he got hurt and he did not come back the way that he was this year. And then this year, Michael Thomas was that guy. And he got hurt and he never really came back this season to do it. So 2018, everything was firing on all cylinders. That defense, Kamara, Michael Thomas, and Drew were that fucking trio. They were still using Taysom as that Swiss Army knife. They were just starting to do that, and he was making random ass plays. That was the fucking team. And so the sad thing is now you're chasing what do they say, that you're chasing the dragon? That's what that shit was. You were chasing the dragon here, and you didn't get there, and it's so fucking sad.
Hi. I'd like to interject for a hot second. Winston, Mr. Marshall, are we basically saying that the Saints team did heroin?
Oh boy.
Sure, if that's what you want to take out of this.
When you say chasing the dragon, sir, that is what
I get that. I get that that's what that's inferring, but like I you know what I fucking meant. Goddamn, don't do this. Don't do this.
Jamal Bayless in the chat says chasing the ghost, sir.
Yeah, chasing the ghost.
Sure, fine.
The dragon. You are saying that Sean Payton, Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, and Alvin Kamara, after every game, because they couldn't have did it before because they'd have been sleep like a motherfucker on the field, were doing heroin.
Sure.
Let me throw something out there from FJames72. He said, here's the thought. What do you think? Nick Bosa and whatever first round pick for Watson. He's talking about the 49ers. Should they trade Nick Bosa, whatever first round pick they have, for Deshaun Watson? I don't think that's anywhere near enough for what the Texans are looking for Deshaun Watson. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. But I don't think that would be enough at all. Maybe if you throw in Jimmy G so they'd have some kind of quarterback there, then maybe. But that is way too low of an offer. What do you guys think? No. What happened? Did I say the wrong thing? Oh.
Tavisca goes the New Orleans Black Car.
No.
I mean, here's the thing. Nick Bosa, all views his side, is a great player on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, true.
But like, I don't know if San Francisco has enough capital.
I mean, bro, all these injuries and shit. Fuck.
Oh.
You know what? Fuck
all
this.
All right. Oh, the shot from Connor Pearson Ward. Ooh, the shot from Connor Pearson Ward. Wrong drug. That was cocaine. Wrong drug.
That was all the cocaine. That was all of the cocaine.
Heroin doesn't have you going, losing recipe. That is purely cocaine. That is purely cocaine.
That is losing recipes.
Oh, he has it. I didn't know he had it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I did not know he had it. Holy shit.
Wow. We'll see. Let's move on to the next game. And that's the Buffalo Bills. Shout out to Del Reed and the crew. You know, Del Reed was a guest on the show a few weeks ago. Shout out to Bills Mafia. You got yourselves into that AFC Championship.
Hey man,
game.
Bills Mafia all day, every day, baby. We running this shit.
What's we running this? When the fuck did you join the Bills? This bandwagon motherfucker over here.
You see my tweet on Sunday?
After the summer, you jumping on trampoline from team to team, man.
Hey, I told you. I tweeted this on Sunday night. I said I'm gonna go ahead and hit up Del Reed real quick and tell him.
Yo, Bills Mafia, you better reject Jay. You saw what he did to the Browns, bro.
Shut up, man.
You better reject Jay right now. Poor Matt Thomas was ready. I invited Matt Thomas to come on Swag Day Fun Day and hang with us, bro. And he looked like he had been fighting back tears for like a good hour because this nigga out here talking about, I can't believe I'm saying this, Bills AFC champions.
I said congratulations to Kansas City. Go over the I said congratulations to the
Jada.
Nigga, hey, I'm ordering me a Bills
hoodie.
Nowhere else to go. Hey, listen, I'm gonna go and order me this Bills hoodie after this show.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I think you deserve it. But hell of a game here by these Buffalo Bills, handling their business there in Orchard Park, New York, getting themselves into the AFC Championship for the first time since
still the moment of the year.
Yeah.
By far was Phillip Rivers be like, oh, like y'all remember that shit where he was down and he just stayed down and shit? Like that oh my God. Oh my God.
again, that intercept, when you see that run back from end zone, from 3 yards in the end, 2 yards in the end zone to other end zone, that just makes you just, because look, you confident right here. Everything, your pocket hasn't broke down, and then you just like, shit.
Yeah.
And
wait. Go stop it and start it again. What is wrong with 72's ass? You see him just give up immediately?
Because he's a motherfucking tackle.
So
he's a guard.
He's 70, 70,
it's
maybe 78.
It's the third quarter. He's exhausted.
78.
Yeah.
But like my nigga dive. This is the game. It's 51 hauling ass. That's a fucking D tackle. That nigga is hauling ass. Miss me with that shit, bro. I don't give a fuck if that's the third fucking quarter. My nigga who was just pushing on that nigga ran the whole way saying, "You got it, nigga. You gotta go. No, Bills Mafia, bitch." Like, come on now.
Let me tell you something. If I'm a right guard, if I'm a guard or a tackle, look, I only give you an extra 10 yards running back the other way. If you don't catch this bitch in them 5-10 yards, I ain't got nothing to do with it no more.
Yeah. This was a close game. This was certainly both defenses showed up. The Ravens defense was limiting Josh Allen. The Bills defense was limiting Lamar Jackson. And it was going back and forth. They weren't letting Lamar Jackson run the way he did against Tennessee. Remember I said this last week on the show, guys. I said, now that you've shown both styles of offense that you can run, you've essentially previewed for the Buffalo Bills what they have to prepare for in Lamar Jackson, and they certainly look like it. Before the game started, my patrons will tell you this. I said that I felt like the Ravens wouldn't get above 13 points. They got 3, and I thought Lamar Jackson was not going to run. He got 42 yards, and I thought he was going to get injured at some point with the knee injury, but in fact, it was a concussion. So all those predictions came true in some maddening fashion, but I just felt like the Bills were ready, and the Ravens had kind of exhausted their emotional energy getting a playoff win for Lamar once and for all last week against those Titans. Did you see anything here that made you question the Ravens' approach to this game, or was this more about the Bills being more prepared to handle whatever the Ravens threw at them?
I'll say this, nothing. The Ravens went in with the same energy and momentum they had from that beating Pittsburgh. They went in with the same energy, the same motivation. But the thing is, you can have that motivation. Like I said, we said already.
You mean from last week, you beating the Titans. The
Titans. Excuse me, the Titans. I apologize. The Titans. Apologize. And shutting down Derrick Henry. You had this motivation. You shut down the best running back in the league. You were good to go. The problem is you have that motivation and that confidence booster, but you're going against a team that has even more confidence. Yeah. What are you laughing at?
Somebody said if Joe Buck had called that, he would have sounded like an airport announcer being like, and there is an interception in the end zone. He is now running the opposite direction. Please be sure to have your real ID in order to check into the end zone.
Look, Joe Buck's like, he's running into the other end zone. Oh my God, there's only one person, Lamar Jackson, and the loading zone is only for the unloading of passengers.
And touchdown.
Final boarding for that one lineman that didn't move his ass. Final boarding. Bro. I'm never gonna let that.
Also, can we talk about one thing we got to talk about?
Hold on. We got Ben Goddard in the chat. I respect Ben. Thank you for watching, Ben. He says, "Don't get me that Larry Allen, the biggest dude ever, chased down a possible pick six." Bring that clip up, Roca. Ben, I would bring it up, but he chased down a linebacker, not a DB. Those are two different speeds, brother. But
I wasn't asking him to chase it down. He was there. Just try and stick your arms out. My nigga, before, if this is the dude running, he just said, well, I'm done. As the dude was there, if you even stick your arms out, that it feels like you attempted to tackle the motherfucker. He was
go past it like this. Hey,
something, because otherwise it literally, that's that shit where when we would make fun of James Harden. Okay, let's see. Hold on.
See, that's a linebacker. Now he's moving fast. Don't get me wrong. Larry Allen, look at Larry Allen's chugging. And Larry had a bit of a disc because Larry was ahead of the play.
You see how tired Larry is, but Larry's fucking ass reached out and grabbed him.
That is
Larry. They gave Larry all the oxygen after that. Don't you fucking do that.
All I need you to do is at the very least stick your fucking arms out and make it look like you're trying, because that's that shit where we make at least dive for a tackle. Because how many times have we made fun of James Harden where his defense is like, oh no. And that's how James Harden tries to stop you. You know what I'm saying?
Harden doesn't know how to play defense at all. We gonna talk about that shit too.
He doesn't want to play defense, nigga. He ran the greatest defense of all time against all of fucking Houston. Okay,
the greatest defensive play against an entire city.
Larry Allen was huge, by the way. Jesus Christ, I forgot how big Larry Allen was.
You know who else was huge, but apparently isn't fucking James Harden.
Larry Allen looks like Jay Washington ate Jay Washington, then that Jay Washington ate another Jay Washington. That's how big Larry Allen looks. It was kind of scary. I'm like this. I've never seen something that big. That's insane. I'm giving you a compliment. It's not a negative thing. That's the dude is massive. The dude is strong. I'm not saying it.
All he said was that there were 3 U's. That's what he said. 3 U's makes it Larry Allen. That
and
actually
you're
is
in fantastic shape.
That's actually. Oh no!
Jay, don't come back.
Oh no, baby, come back, baby.
Don't leave me here. Come back. Oh, Jay, don't be like that, baby. It's all love. Let's see. Josh Mabry sent in a super chat. We'll get back to the game in just a second. He sent a super chat in here as well. And Josh, thanks for the stats. Josh sent me some stats ahead of time. He's been wanting to help more on game time, so he's been sending me some extra stats for the game, so I appreciate it. He said, shout out to Bills Mafia. Yes, donating over $350,000 towards Lamar's charity, blessings in a backpack. Jay, get back in here. He's probably taking a piss. Feeding kids while schools are closed due to COVID-19. Yeah, I have this in my notes. Let me bring that up real quick. What they were able to do. Blessings in a Backpack works to provide meals to kids who are often reliant on food from school just to eat. The organization gives food to them on the weekends with $140 providing meals for one student throughout a 38-week school year. Yeah, was he back?
No, you put in the what the actual Kevin Hart thing is. It doesn't look the same way that you think it does, Jay. It's cut off.
Oh, Jay, get back in here. Anyway, but Lamar got knocked out of this game. There were a couple of bad snaps throughout the game, and that one really cost them with Lamar getting knocked out. What do you think happened here? Were they just not prepared, Winston, or was this just one of those things that happens in the playoffs? Because certainly the wind was out of control. There were a lot of missed kicks in this game from the Ravens side, one from the Bills side. Do you think it was more a matter of just like there was just some issues going on with the snaps?
You know how sometimes it's just your time?
It's
just the Bills' time, bro.
Yep.
It's not the Browns' time. It's not the Saints' time, sadly. This is just the Bills' time. Yeah. I think that the proof of that is the fact that, again, we talked about the Chiefs are probably not going to have Patrick Mahomes available. And I believe in Chad Henne in order to get us, if you had a lead already set up, to just not fuck the game up.
Yeah.
I don't see Chad Henne winning you a game.
Right.
I don't think that the Bucs are the only other team that I think would have a shot at doing this is the Packers. So I think we're going to see a Bills-Packers Super Bowl. I just hope that the Bills aren't further cursed as they have been for, when the last 4 times they went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they went against the juggernaut of a team. You're right about that. Yeah.
Yes, the Cowboys twice.
Yeah.
Washington once and the Giants once. So you got to hope that they're don't do that, Ben, with Henne given Sunday. Miss me with that shit. But I genuinely hope that this is their moment, because I do feel bad for the city of Buffalo.
Yeah.
This is something they've been dealing with for a while, and now that we know that all the other Cinderella stories are kind of been put to bed, I hope they can finish the job.
This is hunger. The entire playoffs, I think for me, the one word I come back to in every game is hunger. Who wants it more, right? And it feels to me like the Bills wanted it more in this game than the Ravens did. The Ravens last week wanted it more than the Titans did. Now the Chiefs are in a situation here. Remember, Mahomes was already hobbled with that left ankle injury that he has. Now you add this concussion nerve situation going on. Those Bills can sack quarterbacks in a nasty way. If they get their hands on Mahomes in that game, do you really trust a 35-year-old Chad Henne to carry you through most of the game if he gets knocked out early? I don't. I think this Buffalo team is ready, and they're motivated to prove a point against this KC team. Mahomes is going to be there for the next 10 years. He will be in contention with this team for 10 years. Maybe this is just the year of Josh Allen and the Bills to get into this Super Bowl, and maybe give the Packers or the Bucs all they can. I'll tell you this: if the Bucs upset the Packers and the Bills win, I think the Bills beat the Bucs no problem.
Let me say this real quick. When it came to the Titans I mean, when it came to the Ravens-Bills game, the pass that Lamar Jackson threw, again, that's one of those plays you design, it goes under. It's just you got a good secondary with a good-ass eye that's like good defense is like, here come that ball, and you just make that last step. Now, the fact that nobody could stop him and it made a full pick six says one thing. That takes the heart out you because you're like, he just ran us back 100 yards. The Bills, again, came in all this motivation, all this fire in the world. But as a lot of people have said, and that was trying to shut this statement down, the Bills defense has not been as top tier as we want it to be. That interception says, oh, really? You know what I'm saying? It's trying to close that conversation. Now you go into Kansas City, who their defense can play. But again, now we're looking at their offense. So the question becomes not their receivers, because they're gonna lock them receivers down. Because especially if it's got to be Chad Henne, you're like, he's only gonna throw short. He's really not gonna throw long. Yeah, they're gonna do all short plays. So then what you do is you close up the line of scrimmage. It's an easy way. Unfortunately, it's an easy path now without Mahomes for the Bills to beat the Chiefs.
I think Mahomes is going to be available. I do. Because they're saying it's not a concussion thing. They're saying it's a nerve issue and that they're going to do all the treatment they can.
So what you're saying is they're going to do like they did to Lawrence Taylor in Any Given Sunday.
Oh, Lord. I don't know. We shall see that.
Hit this. Hey, Patrick, what you need? Right there.
I feel like Mahomes is too young of a quarterback. You don't want to play with that. Let him, if he's really injured,
he got good hair. He got good hair. He okay. Right. He got that mulatto. He got that mulatto hair. He'd be okay.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Approve of that.
Don't do this.
What? Do this. I am black. I can do this. Okay.
No, but you are not. You are not mixed. You don't get to say that word. That's their word. All right. Obama can say that word. All right. That's how that Drake can say that word. Drake. All right. You can't say that.
We're still confused on what the fuck Drake is.
It's very simple.
Canadian dog.
He's half black, half white, bro.
He's half black, half Nebraska.
And Latino. He's Mexican. There's Mexican in the back there. If you saw Atlanta's that Atlanta episode with them, so with Drake. So yeah, which I'm about to finish. Have you guys seen Atlanta? Have you guys seen Atlanta?
Of course. What kind of
I don't know what question is.
I don't know. Do you understand? The minute some great black content comes on, they will come and put you out of your misery if your black ass don't fucking watch it, son. Like,
I didn't watch every episode of One Day at a Time, the Latino version, so I'm just asking questions.
Out of all shows,
that's what you went with.
That's what you went with.
But also, bro, it's very simple. If you're a Negro and you have not seen all of Atlanta and all of Insecure, they are questioning you. And then Power and P Valley are the ones
nigga who didn't see New Jack City.
I've seen it though.
What was the movie you hadn't seen? Which one was it you hadn't seen?
It was a big deal, man.
It doesn't fucking matter because I eventually saw it.
Listen,
because I eventually saw it.
The fact of the matter remains, Roca, what Winston is getting at is, nigga, we saw your El Pollo Loco commercial.
You did. Finally.
I had never. Okay, so the funny thing is, I had seen it, but I hadn't seen it.
You don't have permission. I had seen it on your show, by the way. You do not have permission to use it.
It's fucking free domain, bitch. It's on the internet.
I do not give you permission.
I don't need no permission. I just need to find it on YouTube and rip that bitch. That's what that is.
Internet street.
Also, all I will say with that though is that I had seen it before, but I didn't know you at the time.
Oh yeah,
so I didn't put two and two together until someone was like, "You haven't seen Roca's Pollo Loco commercial?" I was like, "No, what the fuck are you talking about?" Then I found it. I was like, "What is Roca?" Like,
no, we didn't see you go. Today at El Pollo Loco, you need school chicken. Like we didn't. You put on this.
I was making my money, you know.
Make that money. My nigga said, "See, Jesus over here, he got the
he got the nice and
I did not do it like that.
He had them smooth skills.
It was like
not a racist accent. It was
the deepest Latino accent you ever had.
Roca, it'd be the equivalent if I ended up in a Crown Royal vanilla commercial and I was like, I know y'all niggas trying to get fucking drunk and shit.
Because I could have gotten deeper into the ghetto. That's no problem with that.
First of all, I'm gonna say, allow me to say this real quick.
My guy went to college.
Let me say this as a quick caveat. I'm a big black dude who did a chicken sandwich from McDonald's. They paid me.
Serious chicken.
You shut up, bitch. You shut the fuck up. So,
is that a McDonald's commercial? Was it what yours? Was it a McDonald's commercial?
Yes. And then the commercial was normal, right? And then somehow, some way, Winston found the version where they auto-tuned the whole thing into a song.
Oh wow!
And I just happened.
If you'd like, Roca, I can screen share it.
Please, please.
All right,
send me this.
What you got it? Wait, do you have it bookmarked? That's
I have it saved on my computer, nigga. What are you talking about? I'm always ready.
You know what?
Oh
my.
Yes.
Who's in this commercial?
Well, one of the dudes actually ended up on How to Get Away with Murder.
My boy Bizarre Dabu, who's he's on How to Get Away with Murder. So that's my one of the boys here.
All right, let's see. I just gotta remember where I saved it. You can keep talking about stuff when I'm ready.
But again, Roca, you was like, you was so again. I understand you making your money, but you was like, "Hey, don't pull your loco." Like you had the chest puffed out in the show.
I made it very clear. I told him I'm going to do the accent, but I'm not going to do. And El Pollo Loco, we put the chicken on the fryer. I was like, I'm not gonna have this. That's what I told him. I said, I'm gonna do it. You know, like.
All right, you just got to add it in, Roca.
All right. He's still working on his spoonsmanship. Oh, you got to do the audio. Where's the audio?
You can't hear it. All right, hold on.
Yeah, you got to share the audio.
It wouldn't let me, so we'll do this.
Hold on.
Here. No. I got it here. Can you hear this?
Yes. All right.
Try the sandwich in one word. What's your favorite thing about it? Try to taste in 1 second. Look like
Wow.
What's your favorite thing about it?
I hope I don't get a strike on this show now. All right, that's good stuff. That's good. Holy shit. Jay Washington.
Dude, that's the thing, Jay. It's a good fucking commercial. I don't know why you keep acting that way, bro. It's fucking
a good commercial.
It's a good commercial, bro.
It's because I am a black man, my size that was 100, 200 pounds bigger in a giant orange polo.
I get it, man. But you're not that guy now in your mind, so don't sweat it. It's no big deal.
I got paid. I'm happy for it. I made some money again. Yeah. I don't get no more money off that shit. But it's just like, because like we're living in this day and age where people like, yo, you say you all black, and you know what I'm saying? Like people pull up my tweets and be like, yo, you all for the struggle, and you all about, say you all about black people, but here go, ain't this you? Because somebody gonna hit me with this you? This some serious chicken, and I gotta be like.
Oh yeah, look, as soon as Christian found the El Pollo Loco commercial, my life's been a living hell ever since. But I made 30 fucking grand off that commercial, so y'all can
that's what here I'll show you. This is because everybody's like, well, when's Winston gonna do one? Here, I'll screen share another one for your ass.
Oh no,
I done done mine.
I'm never doing that commercial. That's for motherfucking sure.
From My Pillow. I don't understand.
That's the My Pillow dude that is Trump's advisor.
Yeah.
Meet your jeans.
Hi.
Oh, I love this commercial, Winston.
For celiac disease. Sometimes we get a little confused by gluten.
Where you see a continental breakfast.
We might see a security breach.
We're pretty important genes.
Yeah. Got it. We got it.
Hey, immune system, we have a muffin.
Yes, orzo is pasta.
There's a whole world of jeans just waiting to meet.
I remember when I saw this.
Hey, he's trying to compare that commercial to our commercial.
I know this nigga's
out of here.
I'm saying y'all love to call me white and shit, nigga. I'm classy. I'm a fucking gene, bitch. You out here eating fried chicken cooning, and you out here selling fucking Mexican chicken. Fuck y'all niggas. That's all I gotta say. I'm out here fucking solving people's problems, making sure they know they got celiac disease.
I just want to say this for the record. Yeah. I saw this commercial, I think, like right when I met this nigga, and I kept trying to figure out where I knew his ass from. And then I saw that commercial, and I was like, that's where I know this clown ass nigga from. Because that's
bitch. Tell me how you really
feel.
Oh, man. All right, let's move on to our next game here before we run out of time. We got a couple more things to get into here. The Rams took care of business. No surprise here. This was a little bit closer than you thought this game was going to be. There was the Green Bay Packers beat the Rams 32-18, but there was a moment in the game when it was 25-18 after Cam Akers had gotten a 7-yard touchdown run on a direct snap, and then they got the 2-point conversion with Van Jefferson. So it was a little bit closer, and then the Packers pretty much put it away with another touchdown here. Aaron Donald was limited in this game because of a rib injury. He only got an assist on one tackle. That's all he got. So, if your best defensive lineman is not going to be able to get to your quarterback because of injury, you're kind of in a bad situation for the defense against someone like Aaron Rodgers. And certainly Aaron Rodgers took care of business. You know what's crazy? This is the first time that the Packers under Aaron Rodgers will be hosting a NFC Championship game since Bart Starr's winning streak. And it's never been done with Aaron Rodgers. He's always been on the road. So this is an interesting situation. He was there when Favre was hosting the Giants that year when they lost 23-20 in overtime, but he wasn't playing. He was the backup. This is the first time they've actually hosted the game.
Because they've never been number one seed. They've never been number one
seed. So were you impressed even more by what the Packers did? Devontae Adams getting himself a touchdown. Alan Lazard getting a 58-yard touchdown. I mean, he's just killing it right now, right? Do you bet against these Packers against anybody left in the playoffs?
What did I say this entire time about the Los Angeles Rams? The Los Angeles Rams are the most suspect, trash-ass team that made it into the playoffs.
No doubt.
I said that Jared Goff ain't shit. I said that, especially with Aaron Donald hurt, that they weren't going to be able to do shit. And what happened? They got laughed right out the playoffs. Thank you.
Can anybody talk about the fact how Winston went extra quiet, storm sexy? So what did I tell y'all about the LA Rams? I know you all did not want to believe me. I told you all that Jared Goff had basically stole the church's money. And I also want to make sure you all knew that Aaron Donald hurt.
That's the black version of Jack Buck. That's the
listen. But also I need to make another point. The Rams, most suspect team in the NFL. Now they got their asses laughed out of the playoffs.
Oh,
congratulations to Aaron Rodgers. Go Pack, go!
Yeah, it should have been Seattle, man.
Thank you for literally redoing the exact same joke I just did, almost verbatim.
You no problem, sir. I did the joke for you because sometimes I felt like you need to hear it twice, and Roca has nothing better to do with laugh at both of us. So let us enjoy this.
Lewis Lothar brings up a really interesting point here. He says Aaron Rodgers had an MVP season, but his worst loss of the season was against the Buccaneers. 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. It wasn't even close. That is true. Is there a possibility here as we look at this matchup coming up next week that mentally Tom Brady is in Aaron Rodgers' head? Is that a possibility here going into this game? Like he fears Tom Brady, so he has to play a different kind of game. No, not at all.
You see how you keep talking and both of us are shaking our head like
I can see it.
The only person that might put some fear with Jesus in Aaron Rodgers is this person on the D line that he dealt with for years. That's Ndamukong Suh. But you also need to remember that was a very different Aaron Rodgers in that game than what happened the rest of the motherfucking season. So,
you didn't hear me, Winston. I thought you was going to say.
What'd you say?
I thought you said the only person that puts the fear in Aaron Rodgers. I was like Olivia Mumm's Diary.
Oh no. I mean,
the thoughts expressed by Mr. J. Washington are only his beliefs and his beliefs alone.
Absolutely.
Please leave Winston Marshall and Mr. John Rocha out of it.
Please leave us out of it. Please, we still want to have careers. I mean, we'll see. I'm looking forward to the game on Sunday. I think this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out game. I hope to God Tom Brady doesn't shit the bed in this game, but we get ourselves a shootout, and it's close all the way to the end. But that defense of the Packers is going to be
What?
Hey, read what ADS said. Love, Pete, that D smell like dead fish. What?
Because they're in Seattle in that fish market. That's what he specifically.
But here's my thing. When it comes again, Tom Brady has never played He's a habitual line stepper.
I know. Say what you're gonna say before, real quick. Someone said, "How fickle are LA fans?" Bitch, I ain't never been no fucking LA Rams fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking Cowboys fan. No matter how bad we are, I ain't no fucking Rams fan.
What's today match was the man who damn near cried when Dak Prescott went down. They'll let you know.
I don't want to fucking talk about that shit, nigga.
Also, I mean, like, let's be real. Just because you're pointing out the flaws in your team doesn't make you less of a fan. You know what works and what doesn't work. Hell, every fandom knows the issue with their fucking teams, man. That's part.
But again, Tom Brady has never played in the cold that is
Green Bay.
That's Green Bay in January. That is another level of cold.
The snow is coming down, Jay. The snow is coming down. The Rams were like, "We in LA, man." Like they had no concept of what they were getting into here in the snow.
That's a whole different. People like, "Oh, it's just cold, bro." If you've never felt Midwest cold in the winter, it's a whole different thing.
You look at this, it's not okay. So the Packers are set. We know they're going to be great. We're going to watch what they do in the NFC Championship. What do you do if you're Sean McVay and the Rams? Cam Akers really showed out here. You did have an injured Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald will be fine next year. What do you do with Jared Goff? What do you do with a guy
who can't do shit? He's
$120 million.
Jared, thank you for your time. We would like to send you off to another team. You have a good one. You hear that nigga. Take it out of town.
I'm mad that you got an envelope on the desk sitting on stand by the news like Mr. Goff.
Thank you for your time. Please get the fuck out.
Eric Kirby, let me address that. New England cold is nothing. Nothing like Midwest cold.
Yeah, you can't compare.
That is nothing.
East Coast cold to Midwest cold.
Midwest cold has that bone-chilling wind chill. That's why that's why people, when Minnesota got a dome, people were like, "Oh, thank God!"
Like, which is also the thing about Lambeau Field versus what's it called? Fucking Foxborough. Foxborough, if I'm not mistaken, is a little more insulated. They got that wide ass fucking everything fucking open. Let that shit just the fuck in Lambeau. Yeah. That's a whole different fucking cold, man.
It's a whole different cold. It is,
and it's also just Tom Brady. Wait, I'm going to spoil Aaron's secrets of Tom Brady. Oh no, that's just Tom Brady that played that. Tom Brady and Gronk. What about the rest of fucking I live in Florida ass Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus at least all of Green Bay has been prepping for this.
I think that's fair. Buffalo cold is a whole nother ball game as well. I would agree with that, but you're not going to be playing in Buffalo. You're playing in KC. So
you're playing in KC, which again is a level of Midwest cold.
Yep.
It's a level of Midwest cold. But if you are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you are coming into a complete climate shift.
One note from the game that I think is so interesting. It's the first time a Packers quarterback has scored a running touchdown in a playoff game since Bart Starr did it in the Ice Bowl against the Cowboys in 1967.
Thank you, Joe Buck. Thank you, Joe Buck.
I just find it very interesting that Mr. Aaron Rodgers ended with 4 carries for -3 yards, but a touchdown. He's the first person I've seen with negative yards to have a rushing touchdown on their name. That's pretty amazing.
That's fair. That's fair.
I just want everyone to know that Winston and Marshall is going to go from hosting in the internet space to radio. You will hear him tonight on AM Soul, 1630.
He's too quiet, Storm. Is that Donnie Simpson?
Yes. Ladies, please enjoy this next rendition of All of You by John Legend. And go ahead. Go ahead, pull your titties out for your boy.
Nope.
All right.
Come all of me.
This is game time. Game time. Not Blurs in the Hood 2.0.
You know what you pay for on this goddamn show. You know what you're getting. You know exactly what you're getting from Jump. Please don't act brand new. This motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Motherfuckers come to this show because they're like, listen, we were those two clowns, and John actually acting a younger age. So you're welcome.
All right.
Because all of me.
Oh, Lord. All right, let's move on. So that's the NFL. We got the matchups. What are your predictions, gentlemen? Who do you see winning? We've got the Packers taking on the Buccaneers. We've got the Chiefs taking on the Bills. Right now on Monday, without knowing too much about the Patrick Mahomes situation, what's these championship games? No, it doesn't, and no, it won't. No, it won't. Go ahead. Yes. Oh boy.
Chiefs. The answer for me is the Bills. The Bills and the Packers.
Okay, good job. All right. Oh yeah. Oh, 1,000%.
I need a minute.
Let me get myself together.
I'd like to give my answer to the two games. I believe that the NFC champions will be the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
And I believe that after it is all said and done on Championship Sunday, the AFC champions will be the Bills of Buffalo.
Wow. Okay. All right. Fair. I think if Mahomes plays, I go KC. As much as the Bills may want it, they have so many weapons.
That's why I'm just going. That's why I'm saying.
But I love the Bills. I respect the Bills. But I think if Mahomes can't go, then I definitely got the Bills in that. Other side, I do have Aaron Rodgers. He's ready to win. He wants that second Super Bowl. He wants to throw it in the face of Green Bay for them taking Jordan Love and what have you. And I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers wins that Super Bowl, turns around and goes, "Fuck you, I'm out of here."
I don't think he. But that's. I think he go. See, here's the thing. I think he goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't think he wins it. I don't think he wins it. I think he go. I think that no matter what, I think I'm standing on the fact that the Super Bowl champions will come out of the AFC.
Okay.
Because I said it from jump. And I even said if it wasn't the Saints, in my opinion, and this isn't just my dislike of Green Bay. It was just for me. I didn't, granted, before Aaron Rodgers was doing all this and just making this noise, I always said the champ was going to come out of the AFC because of how strong the Bills, the Chiefs, the Browns were. I said the AFC champ was going to be the AFC again.
Right. I don't disagree with you. That's a fair point. Joseph Curran said, did you all see that Goff and McVay are apparently not on good terms? I personally think this is good. This could be the best thing for the Rams, especially if they can somehow flip him for Watson. Personally hoping Watson goes to my Panthers, but that's probably a no-go. Oh, yeah. Deshaun Watson ain't going to.
Well, he wants to go to Miami.
In Miami? What's crazy?
He wants to go to Miami, but he wants to go to Florida. If you're smart, you want to go to Florida, no state tax.
Yeah, number one. Plus warm weather.
Warmer weather. I mean, Houston ain't bad, but he wants to go there. Now, the argument of him saying he wants to go there, but at the same time, what's about to come on these tables?
Yeah.
Who about to put up because he's not at the end of the day, somebody can come up with a dope ass offer. Hypothetically, let's say who was the next tier? The Jags, even though we know what they're doing with they got Trevor Lawrence, they're getting Trevor Lawrence, but the Jags could sit there and throw a dumbass offer out there on the table that's better than anybody else. That doesn't mean that Deshaun will take that.
Yeah, and that's a piece of the rundown for today. Deshaun Watson, where do you anticipate he goes, man? You said Miami. There's rumors about the Washington football team trying to throw their hat in the ring with some picks and possibly Ryan Kerrigan. Where do you think he might go? Chicago. There's rumors about Chicago. There are not a lot of teams though that have a lot of capital at this
also,
point.
Deontay Wimbush says it. Miami has a black head coach and a GM, and that's what he wants.
Oh, that's a fair point.
And the fact that Bieniemy is still not getting a job, don't ever tell me that it is fair in the NFL. Don't ever tell me that head coaches who are worthwhile get jobs. Don't ever say that Bieniemy has been thrown around just solely because of the Rooney Rule, and no one wants to hire that man.
I don't understand. And the saying like Bieniemy doesn't interview well. I don't know but here's the thing. It may be a weird situation because I truly believe they're lining up Bieniemy to take over for Andy Reid in Kansas City. And it may just be that Bieniemy is taking these interviews, but interviewing poorly on purpose so they don't select him so he can stay in Kansas City and take over Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes because Andy's maybe got one more year, maybe two left. So if you're Bieniemy, you take the interviews because you'd like the experience of being interviewed, but maybe you don't do a good job on purpose so you don't get selected to be the head coach of these crap teams like the Jets or the fucking Lions or any of these other teams, except for the Chargers. The Chargers got a good situation. I think you do that so you stay in Kansas City. What do you think? You think that's crazy?
No, but I don't think Andy Reid's retiring anytime soon, though. Like, I know Andy's older.
Yeah, that's something.
And the big scare is for anybody that's as big as him, something, knock on wood, but something could happen at any moment. Because
have you looked at Bruce Arians?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians is huge. I didn't realize how big Bruce Arians was.
Well, he must have gained weight because he was always like a little thick, but he was never big. He must have gained weight. But I'm saying Andy Reid.
Oh, yeah.
Andy Reid has looked like, I don't even want to be rude like this,
Wallace,
but I'm gonna go.
Wilford Brimley.
I was gonna go X-Men. He looks like the Blob, bro. He has for a while.
He looks like Wilford Brimley with diabetes.
And I say that. That's the thing. I say that out of love of the fact that I genuinely hope that nothing happens to him. But that would be the only thing, in my opinion, that would change that. He's got a good thing going with Mahomes and his team, and he ain't going nowhere. Like
That's true. That's true. And they're out eating his lineman. There you go. I think it's Kenneth easy now. Tushka, who is a big KC fan, one of my patrons here. Bieniemy is happy having a chance for rings. Reed only has a contract that ends in 2025.
Let's stop that. Let's stop that.
Years.
Yeah, let's stop that whole he just happy having the chance for rings. Yo, if you know you have head coach potential, you know you can run a team, you want that opportunity to. That's just like saying Mike Tomlin was just comfortable staying as on the coaching staff of the Steelers before he moved to the head coach position. Nah, I'm not buying that one.
But we've seen other teams up the pay. Ben brought it up. We've seen other teams up the pay of their offensive coordinators because they know they're essentially next in line to take over for their head coaches. That could be what happens with Bieniemy. Or maybe he takes one of these jobs, gets some experience as a head coach, you kind of as kind of a dry run for himself to see what it would like, and then finds his way back to KC later on. That could be interesting for them as well. So I don't know. Interesting. Let's see what we got next here. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff that's come through here. Gentleman _ says, can you settle this debate between me and my dad? He says Mahomes is a running quarterback. I say he's a quarterback who runs. Lamar is a running quarterback. Who are the running quarterbacks in the league in your opinions? Mahomes is not a running quarterback.
No, he's not.
Mahomes is an upgraded version, in my opinion, of Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that's
yes.
Fair.
Lamar's a Michael Vick-esque type of quarterback. He's a runner quarterback.
Yeah. And that's not to take away from Russell Willie, even though he did have a bad second half to the season. But I'm saying that, like, if Russell is an A, like, Mahomes looks like an A+.
Yeah. Deshaun, what about Deshaun? Is Deshaun a running quarterback or more of a pocket passer?
Deshaun is similar to Russell. He's similar to Russell Willie. I think those are the two camps that you're looking at with moving quarterbacks. It's the Russell Wilson formula and it's the Michael Vick formula. Are they using it? Like, do you have the occasional option? Sure. But are you using it to genuinely throw people off? Or are you using it to extend plays or to fix a broken play? They would use Cam Newton. They would use Michael Vick to be like, nah, go. Fucking go. That's not really what Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson do or Russell Wilson, with the occasional exception.
Yeah, good point. All right, Joseph Curran says, I think it'd be cool to see a Bucs-Bills Super Bowl because you get Tom Brady versus the Bills again on a massive stage. The story pretty much writes itself, and can Buffalo finally shed being under Brady's foot for so long? Oh, yeah, I guess, but that's not really, is it? I mean, like, yeah, but not really. Like, the Bills were never really a threat to Tom Brady the whole time he was there with New England. So it's not like they have a rivalry, for fuck's sake. Yeah, he was in
I'm so mad. Roca basically went, is it though? I mean,
you know, I was like, I don't think there was any Bills that were threatening. I think Miami was more of a rival, if we're going to talk about a rival in the AFC East to the Patriots, than the Bills ever were throughout that time that they've been there. I mean, Miami's always popped up and puts a few upsets on Tom Brady.
It was all of them. None of them were really threats, but it was all of them. Because remember, even the Jets at one point, before Mark Sanchez became Mr. Butt Fumble, he took them to 2 AFC championships. So it's all 3 of those teams had moments where they gave the Patriots a run for their money, but not enough of a run to like make it anything but like, sorry, Brady had one of the softest divisions to play against his entire career.
Yep.
And he got lucky this year too. He got lucky that the only team that was a threat was the Saints, and they fucking embarrassed him in the regular season, but they just couldn't finish the job here because Atlanta and Carolina were a joke this year.
Yeah. Tushka Productions says there's an unconfirmed report that Patrick Mahomes had a nerve injury and not a traditional concussion. I hope he plays, but would rather be cautious for his future. Yeah, we could also tie Patrick to Bell's leg and Weekend at Bernie that shit. What? Le'Veon Bell? You're not attaching him to Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, it's a possibility that's a nerve injury, not a traditional concussion for sure. If it is, then he's got a better chance to play. But that being said, you don't want to risk permanent injury to your star quarterback this early.
No, not in his career. No.
Sacrifice one Super Bowl for the next 3 to 4 you might be in contention for. I would not do that at this point. What about you?
I 1,000% agree. I think you depend on, like, I don't know how serious pinched nerves are. But like if it's a situation where it was like in that moment, it was a complete shock to his system, shut everything down. They're able to kind of align it back however they need to, and he's fine. He just needs the next couple of days to just let his body reset. Great. But if it's a situation where you have nerve damage or you have like actually a concussion, you sit him the fuck down. And if you don't make it to the Super Bowl, I know it fucking sucks, but do not leverage your entire young superstar, once in a generation quarterback just to go to the Super Bowl this one fucking time.
Yeah. As Tushka says, nerves are nothing to Joe Buck with. That's for sure. That's for sure. Jason Surage says, I'm from Buffalo. We all hate Tom Brady. LOL. Yeah, you may hate Tom Brady, but he sees you, as Jimmy Stewart once said, a scurvy little spider. You're not much to Tom Brady if you're from Buffalo. You're just not. He doesn't fear you, doesn't worry about you. He's not much. I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there.
Just quote Jimmy Stewart on the show in 2020.
Come on.
What? 2021?
Jimmy Stewart. Let's see. All right. So G Smith donated, says, cuz all of me. LOL. Respect, man. Yeah, I think, and I think that's it. That's all the StreamLabs Super Chat so far. Let's move on to our next story here. And that is James Harden. What a massive trade this was for the Brooklyn.
No pun intended. No pun intended.
Well, yeah, fair point. This is insane. The Rockets sent James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, what's up?
Real quick, sorry. Someone in the ADS keeps talking about how bad Josh Allen sucks. Well, I just went and pulled up the year's stats. First of all, Josh Allen has the 5th highest yards on the year.
Yeah.
With 4,544. He has got, let's see here. Not as great with his, he's 5th on the year in touchdowns at 37. Let's see. Where is he? He's 4th on the year for completion percentage. I'm just saying you might want to put some respect on the nigga's name that's made it to the AFC Championship and has made it as a top 5 quarterback this year. I don't like him, but put some respect on his motherfucking name. What has Chad Henne done? He ran 13.5 yards. That's what Chad Henne has done this season, fam.
He ain't Trent Dilfer managing this team. He's legitimately a reason that they're in this position, for fuck's sake. All of me. All Atlanta fans hate Tom Brady.
You didn't hate Brady. You need to hate your fucking coach. You need to hate Matt Ryan. You need to hate Julio Jones. At the time, I believe you had what's his name, Devontae Freeman. You need to hate them niggas that decided that 28-3 was enough. They need to make no more points.
And Mike Shanahan. Or all right. Eric Kirby donated. He said James Harden is averaging 3 cheeseburgers, 2 extra large fries, and a milkshake per game. Yikes.
Shit, not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, this is Winston sent me this, so let's take a look at it as I share the screen here.
I should have sent you the first one before you said that.
Look at this. This is James Harden before he left Houston, and this is James Harden with Brooklyn. Where did my
nigga was rolling around in a Sherman Club bodysuit. He was in a fucking Nutty Professor bodysuit trying to tell Houston, I need to get the fuck up out of here. Bro, that is so fucking funny.
Looks thinner. How the fuck did he do that? That's insane to me.
Yo, he didn't skip no pregame meals. Apparently he did. He skipped them all. He skipped them all.
Right, Roca, I was to say we got to show him that one where Roe Parrish from NBA TV was like, James.
Oh yeah. He said he had a pregame meal. He's like, stop it, don't say that, stop it.
James Harden definitely had a pregame meal, like.
But so Houston picked up Oladipo from the Pacers. It was a 3-team trade here. Everybody moving around. They got Dante Exum again and Rodions Kurix. They also got 4 first-round picks to Houston and 4 first-round pick swaps in the 14th. I mean, Houston is fucking set now. This incredible deal. And Jarrett Allen and Torian Prince will be sent from Brooklyn to Cleveland. Also, their second-team guy, Karis LeVert, is also going to Indiana and for a second-round pick as well. Oh, and a second-round pick as well. So Harden goes to where he wanted to go. He's joining Kevin Durant. He's joining Kyrie Irving. If Kyrie even comes back, he's not playing tonight. 9th game in a row. I think
they might void his contract. That was the thing that Stephen A. first last week was saying he should just retire. If right now he's not made basketball a priority for a while now, and if there's other things more important to him, he should retire and come back when he's ready if he wants to. But now Stephen A. is like, bro, you've missed this many games. They may genuinely void your fucking contract.
Yep, absolutely. And he's gone. Kyrie said he wants to come play now with James, but like at this point, I think Kyrie's more interested in the social justice. I think he's more interested in being a man to change the culture of this country. So if that's what you really want to do, man, you can't do that part-time.
Stephen A. Smith said it best. Just go on and retire, bro. Just go on and retire. You clearly don't want to do this no more. Save everybody in the league, not just the Brooklyn Nets organization or any other organization that may be talking about getting you in a trade. Save every organization a headache. Just go ahead and retire. You can come back later if you decide you want to, because if you retire and then 2-3 years later and you still in good shape and can still ball and say, yo, I'm asking for reinstatement into the league, you're Kyrie Irving. You have chips. You have a chip. They're going to bring you back.
Yeah, but the Nets basically mortgaged their future to try to win this title over the next couple of years because they gave away a lot of draft picks. And someone pointed out it's 3-team trade. You're right. 4-team trade. You're right. It's a 4-team trade. When I think of the team trading, it's Brooklyn. I think of them trading with the 3 other teams, which is why in my head it's 3-team trade. But yes, 4-team trade. Cavaliers, Pacers, Nets, and Houston Rockets all involved in this. But James came out. He got a triple-double in his first game. 32 points for the Nets when he debuted. So he did his thing. He can still do his thing. So it's not a bad move. The thing is, do they have enough pieces now? Letting go of Karis LeVert, letting go of Jarrett Allen. These are their best defenders on the team. Letting them go. They essentially are going to try to run the Paul Westphal offense, RIP, and try to beat teams 150 to 135 because they have no defense. Do they have enough to beat the Lakers, though? I don't think so.
I would say this real quick, and Jay, please do me a favor, and this is the one time I ask you not to call out what I'm not going to say out loud. Jay and I joke about this all the time, that there are certain directors or EPs in Hollywood that we're like, we don't really want to work with them, but if they knocked on our door and they backed the Brinks truck up, we would say, fuck, I kind of got to go with it. So the Nets owner said, no, we never do some stupid shit like this. But you just told me that you would give me an MVP who has a working relationship with our former MVP, and they want to come and win this shit right now. And if we can get Kyrie to stop acting like a little bitch, we can fucking win this shit. Motherfucker, back the big struggle. Fuck, back it up. And that's essentially what's happening here. I can't fault yes, everybody will say that kind of stuff until you're in the situation and it's a prime situation. Mm-hmm. I think that's the thing. I think they truly believe the East is better than it was in the past, but the East still looks like the weaker side of the NBA. So you can potentially get yourself to the finals. And then it's a matter of, can you just take out like LeBron and Anthony or, I want to say Dallas, but I think we're still a few pieces away from that shit. Yeah. The Clippers, if they get their act together, you know what I'm saying? You just got to see, can you handle whatever mega team comes out of there? But he feels that they can take the East, so fuck it, go for it.
Take the East, but you got to be up to the Lakers. Good, yeah.
This entire season was predicated now on having big twos, dynamic duos.
Right, you're right.
Remember, the way the trades were going, everything was set to be dynamic duos, right? You would see a couple people you like, well, they can be a big three. You can't, but it was predicated on more locked in dynamic duos. You went back to the big three mentality in Brooklyn because you're like, yo, we're tired of playing just above being fully recognized.
Right.
So now we got Kyrie here. Cool. We get KD. He has to sit out a year, unfortunately, but we got KD back healthy. We got Kyrie. Hopefully he wants to play. And then we can acquire James Harden.
Yeah.
Who when he again that first game showed everybody was like, well, James Harden can't do it no more. Look how he playing when he gained all this weight. He was showing everybody, I do not want to be in Houston anymore. But and the thing, some people will say, oh, that's unprofessional. But let's be realistic. We've seen many of players,
Vince Carter,
give up when they don't want to be on the team no more.
But also, is there something to be said that there's something going on in the city of Houston that I wonder if it's just the team. You have had two. I understand the NBA is like 80% black, so this is a little different here. But both Deshaun and James Harden are like, get me the fuck up out of here.
Good point, man.
I'm asking you a genuine question. Is there something not just with the teams, but with the city of Houston that people are like, we gotta fucking go? Which is interesting because Houston has always been one of the meccas for black people. It's been like Atlanta, it's been like Brooklyn, it's been like Compton and Oakland. And then fucking Houston. So I'm like really wondering if something's going on down there or if it's just the owners of those teams are just trash. It could just be that.
Certainly a lot of people feel that way about the Texans, the owner of that team being a little bit racist in some of the comments he's made in the past, especially about the Black Lives Matter movement and people protesting, not a owner and not the words you want to hear from an owner that endears himself necessarily to his black players.
Kelly Loeffler in the Atlanta Dream. Let's not forget that.
That's true. She's out of one job. Maybe they can get her out of another. That's for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, so that situation is there. And so I will see what happens. They're going to pick up players, obviously, after they get bought out, after the trade deadline. They'll pick up some decent players, some veteran players, but I don't think they've got enough pieces to beat the Lakers. The Lakers look very, very stacked right now. And maybe they'll win the East, but this could all implode. You've got three selfish me players, and I don't mean in a bad way. Durant, certainly not in a bad way. He just knows he can score. Kyrie, who's not sure if he's in or out of the NBA, and James Harden trying to prove a point here. Can they really find a way to mesh in this situation to make it work? And Russell Westbrook's over there in Washington going, motherfucker, left me out of the trio coming back to play on a team. So this is an interesting situation.
Yeah, but Russell's a whole different ball game. Russell he's not going to go to Brooklyn hypothetically and take a backseat to KD.
But I don't know. At this point, fuck it. If Kyrie don't want to play, find a way to trick him. Trade Kyrie for Russ. Put the
I would put money on the Nets. If I need to see what they do 6 games together at least to understand the relationship of Russell and KD. That's really it. James Harden will be like, I get it. But it's that Russell KD thing that worked. If that was to happen within 6 to 7 games, I would start literally putting money towards Brooklyn for the winning, nigga.
Bro, how fun would that be? Like, all right, KD, you take quarter 1. Russ, you take quarter 2. You take quarter 3. And then whoever's open in quarter 4, we just gonna fucking go off. Yeah. Like, that would be fucking amazing.
That would be terrifying. Can you imagine how terrifying that is? To hear a coach be like, we know we primarily want KD to score one quarter. But if you can get it, get it. Yeah. Russ, you got the second quarter, but if anybody else got it, got it. James, you get the third. On the fourth quarter, let the dogs loose. Like,
at that point, you go, don't even give me 2 other players. I just want Russ and James and KD, and we gonna play 3-on-5, nigga, and fucking embarrass these motherfuckers.
It's gonna work. Who's gonna?
But you need at least 7 people. I said what I said. I wasn't.
Do you think Steve Nash is going to say no to them? I don't think so.
Steve Nash still catching hell for getting that job. Everybody was like, "What is Steve?"
No one's even asking him his opinion on the situation because they know
this is when you find out. This is when you find out Steve Nash is apparently black as fuck, and then like everybody up there is like, "Nah, Steve Nash that real nigga, man." He was hanging out with Dirk and his wife, and was like, "Yo, I like that," because that's the thing everybody used to say about Dirk, that Dirk was actually black as hell. He would show up to the arena with a plate covered in foil from his wife on the way to the game, like.
The irony is he may be more black than Drake, and they're both Canadian. That might be possible too for Steve Nash. That might be
Nash. I was like, nigga, Dirk is from Germany. What are you talking about? Nowitzki? That's the most non-Canadian name I've ever heard in my life.
Wait, did you hear how he said it? Did you hear how he said it? He was like, Nowitzki?
Nowitzki, eh? But yeah, Steve Nash, Canadian as well. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. But it's exciting stuff for sure in the NBA. And we will be covering the NBA more here on Game Time as the NFL starts to wrap up its games. There will be more NBA conversations and talk as well here going forward. So start tuning into the highlights, ladies and gentlemen. Start watching those games. We're going to talk about them as we go into this spring season here in 2021. All right, that's it. We'll wrap up here. Wait, we might have one more StreamLab that came through from Vegetable Blue. Is this Kyrie's way of load managing himself? Taking himself out of games? Yeah, but I don't think that's the way you want to do it.
He was like, yo, if they can do that shit with Kawhi, I'm gonna do it myself.
I'm gonna take myself out. I don't know. Winston, any thoughts on that? No? All right.
I'm not going to touch that with a 40-foot pole.
All right. And last one, Tushka says, Tushka Corrections says, I am not saying that Bieniemy doesn't have head coach potential. He is the boss. Mahomes has said several times that it really wants to stay with Bieniemy. KC fans want Bieniemy to take over and be the next coach QB duo like Brady and Brees had respectively with Belichick and Peyton. So
okay, I got you.
Possibly, but I just 4 years. There's no way he's waiting until Andy Reid's done in 4 years in 2025 to take over the fucking team. That makes no sense. All right, that's it from us. Thank you all so much for watching this live episode of Game Time. It was a blast. Definitely one of the best episodes we've had in a bit. Want to give some love to these gentlemen. So Winston A. Marshall, where can they find you, my man?
We see you right down there at the Swaggy Blurred. I'll be on SCN Live tomorrow. I've got Blurs in the Hood at 2. Thursday, which I'm sure Jay would say the same thing too, is actually our 1 year anniversary for Blurs in the Hood. So please come through. We're going to give you a little bit of a longer show. We've got a few surprises. I've put out the extension to any of the guests that we have had, but most of them are very busy. But if any of the guests are available and want to join us for that 2-hour show, that includes you, John. You've been on Blurs before. If you
I have, yes.
Come kick it with us. We're just going to celebrate a year of awesome and talk about what we plan to do in the future.
What time is that again? Tuesday?
That's Thursday. Thursday at 2. But we will be on tomorrow at 2. So definitely come hang with us tomorrow. We're going to put on a good show as we always do.
Jay Washington, my man.
Yeah, same thing here, Twitter, Instagram, Mr. J. Washington. Matt Titan drops tomorrow, brand new episode of that. My review for One Night in Miami is up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAYWashington80. Check that out. That movie is phenomenal.
I can't wait.
I will say this real quick. I know we have to have this ceremony, but can they just go ahead and engrave Regina King's name on Best Director and hand it to her?
Okay.
Because after all
I got a question though, because what are the new rules as far as streaming? Because this wasn't.
It came out in December. Great.
It
did. That's the thing. It went in Christmas. It came out on Christmas in theaters.
Great.
So yeah, they did it. I know what you were gonna bring up. They did it. That's
all I was concerned about.
Yeah. Also, but again, like you said, Blurs in the Hood tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. on the East Coast. Thursday, yes, it is the 1 year anniversary. It's very exciting because it's surreal. Like the show we made on a whim. Like, yo, let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In a year, what we've done and what we've grown to is phenomenal. And thanks in part to all amazing people who've been a part of it, John, yourself, and many others. So yeah, join us tomorrow and our 1 year anniversary. And I will be on the IG live show this Friday talking WandaVision. And if you're one of those people, let me say this.
WandaVision.
Let me say this. If you're one of those people that was like, oh, what is this? The first 2 episodes. You need to, first of all, you weren't getting Avengers 5. You were not getting bang, bang, shoot them up out the gate. Mm-hmm. Calm down, because it's about to get serious.
Yep.
And now you're going to be like, oh. So, yeah, just want to say.
Trust me, I need to rewatch it, but I have seen episode 3, y'all. Yep. It only continues. It's a fucking rocket ship. You know how all the fucking blasters go up, but it takes a minute to catch that steam, and then all of a sudden it's like out of fucking orbit. Like, just wait, it gets better and better every episode how it moves.
Episode 1 and 2 had to happen so you could enjoy episode 3. They laid the foundation of what they were setting up in the first 2 episodes for the show. 3 is when it starts to really take off, and you're going to be on board for the ride for sure. So yeah, definitely do that. And we also reviewed it for the Geek Buddies with Emma Fife, our special guest Emma Fife. We reviewed episodes 1 and 2, so you can go and watch that now. We also did a road to to WandaVision. If you're like hesitating watching because you're not sure what the situation is in a relationship, you can watch that here on the Outlaw Nation channel as well. Thanks to Jay. Thanks to Winston A for sure. You can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Subscribe to the channel down below. Remember to like and share this video. Please hit that like button. And if you're watching later, leave a comment down below. The likes and the comments all elevate this show to get seen by other people who enjoy sports content here on YouTube. All right, that's it from us. Much love to you. We'll talk to you next week with another live episode of Game Time. Peace until then.